Right, we should be live. I'm going to do some checks to make sure that we're working properly. Give me just a second, guys. I'm getting all set up here. It starts in an hour? Yeah, I know. I always do my Warriors Dens a little early. I always start a little early so that I can shoot the breeze, catch up with people. If I started right at the thing, then we wouldn't have any time to chat. Alright, let me finish getting set up here. Alright. Good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are doing alright. I myself am doing okay. Have you been? I've been better. Been a little under the weather for a little while. I'm feeling a lot better, just still kind of like kind of weird sensations in my gut, but like gassy stuff, but I think that that'll pass in time. I hope so anyway, because it's annoying. But otherwise, I'm alright. Alright, yeah. No other real problems, so hoping that things stay that way. And of course, I'm going to be trying to stream tonight. I'm going to try to do the Persona 5 stream tonight, which will be fun. Because it's been a while since I've done a stream. Like, this is my first stream in a while. I think my last stream was actually last Friday, so it'll be nice to get back into that. Yeah, Raven, been a while since I joined one of these. Yeah, well, glad you're back. Glad you're back. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. It's been a while since I did one of these, you know. We keep your health in our prayer. I appreciate that, man. I pray about it a lot. Because I'm a major hypochondriac. I'm always afraid of every little thing. You know, it's crazy. Like, I've had to convince myself to stop checking stuff like WebMD or stuff like that because everything is bad, right? Like, that headache, oh, it's not a headache, it's a brain tumor. You know, it's that rumbly in your tumbly, oh no, that's not just gas, that's stomach ulcer or stomach cancer. What happens is your mind starts to play tricks on you. It convinces you that every little thing is a bad thing, you know, like, but one thing that my doctor used to tell me is that even healthy people have symptoms, and so that's something I've had to carry with me. But sometimes it's really weird because, you know, you think like, oh, well, you know, this, like, it starts weird. Like, for example, earlier this week I was having like gas pain in my stomach and lots of belching and stuff, and at first I was kind of like, okay, well, that's a little odd, but, you know, that sometimes happens. But it's carried on for almost a week, and I'm kind of like, why does that keep going on and off for like a week? Am I eating something wrong? Is something out of place? And, you know, it's not like painful or anything. I'm not like in pain. It's just annoying. But, you know, over time, annoyances start to cause agitation, and agitation causes worry, and worry eventually leads to freakouts. And those freakouts, those panic attacks, lead to higher blood pressure, which leads to other problems, and it turns into a whole circular issue. It turns into a self-fulfilling prophecy, like you start convincing yourself that you have a problem. Just watch your Samurai video. That would be an amazing year of content. Thank you. Thank you. Have you watched Voyage of the Demeter? It's a good movie. I have not. I don't have a lot of interest in it because as someone who's read Dracula, I know that they're going to probably ruin it. Hey, Raven, how long until the Aztec theme is over? Until the end of this season? I mean, they've got one more week left. Me, I'm a little out of breath, doctor. It's nothing to worry about. Internet, you've caught a mild case of death. Exactly. That's my point. Like right now, my biggest problem is just the gas. You know, like I've got some gassiness. And because of that gassiness, it's like I shouldn't be worried about it. It's like, it's just a minor problem. It'll eventually either go away on its own, or, you know, it'll work itself out, or you'll just get used to it. But in my mind, since it's so frequent, it becomes an annoyance, and I'm like, yeah, it's got to be worse than it is. You know, it's not even a big deal. I don't feel like it's just a discomfort here and there, but it comes and goes. So I don't think it's anything to worry about. But I'm trying to drink lots more water and stuff like that. So trying to keep myself healthier. So who knows? Maybe eventually it'll pass. And if it doesn't, I've got a doctor's appointment coming up at the end of the month, so I can always talk to the doctor then if I need to. What would you expect from the next season? Wulin stuff. Honestly, the story sounds pretty much like every other season to me. Like, if what we've heard so far is to be believed, Horkos is going to use the money and gold they got from the Aztec season to go to the Wulin territory and cause some crap. And the Wulin are probably going to fight back. Our new hero skin is probably going to be something relating to the Wulin fighting back. Probably a new hero that the Wulin bring up to fight the Warmongers. So that's probably going to be what we're going to get. I'm not excited about that. I think that's, again, very lazy and hitting the bottom of the barrel. But, hey, you know, it's what they won't do, so let them do what they won't do. Salve, my brother in Christ. Salve. What's up, Elijah Jones? Definitely one of the most unique seasons visually. Well, I gotta admit, the trailer looked, well, not the trailer, but the teaser that we saw, the little GIF, looked pretty cool. Medjai has a cool execution for his Hero Fest. I'm Rep 70, so glad we finally got something. Oh, sweet. So he finally got his let's take a look at that while we're waiting. Let's take a look at that. Let's pull up YouTube here. All right, and Medjai Hero Fest. Let's see. They don't have it out yet? They don't have the video out yet? Okay, well, I'll have to watch someone else's video. Let's take a look at this one. Let's watch this. Okay. Could you zoom in on it, video? Like, come on. There we go. Wait, what did his other axe do? The first one went into the stomach. I saw that. Wait, he just shoved it back into place? Show it again. Okay, all right. That was kind of cool. That was kind of neat. I like that. That was kind of neat. Why didn't the Aztec take their gold back? I don't know. I feel like Ubisoft doesn't like Horkos, but that's just me. Oh, they love Horkos. Let's face it, you can probably write better lore while sitting on a toilet than anything Ubisoft can produce. Probably. Do you think that the hero skin is possibly related to those Chinese vampires? No, I doubt it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be more of a Sun Wukong reference. Lin Kuei Assassin and some kind of heavy together, hopefully. No, I don't believe that we'll get anything Lin Kuei related because I don't think that Ubisoft wants to go that direction. So, no. I'm so hyped for this. I am too. We need Tiandi hero skin. And man, they cheat us out of a hero skin. All the Vanguards, bro. Not only that, but my main. Yeah, they haven't given Wulin much, have they? The Wulin have gotten almost nothing. The Knights, Vikings, Samurai, and Outlanders have all gotten hero skins. The Wulins are the only ones who haven't gotten one. It's very unfair to me. This is literally his base execution with different movesets. No, it's not. What? No, it's not. First of all, it knocked the guy off of his feet. None of his other executions do that in that manner. I'm fine with it. Who is stronger, Davani or Tachanka? Tachanka. Those evil Europeans invading everybody. Well. Hey Raven, I'm genuinely curious. Is there anyone in real history that inspired you for the creation of Ruth? No, I just came up with her. Hey Raven, do you think that new skin will be Sun Wukong? It's a possibility. I don't know yet. Imagine if it's JJ. I'd be fine with that. My Tiandi is a Sun Tzu build. Okay. Let's face it, you probably write better lore in 5 minutes than Ubisoft can do in 5 years. I wouldn't go that far, but maybe. We haven't had a male hero skin since Bullthorn. Yeah, you're right, we haven't. Huh, interesting. Hey Raven, got some steak and some kettle corn to enjoy the stream. Great! I thought Sundal would do something this season. He might, I don't know. You think the Lawbringer rework going to go live this season? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the Lawbringer rework. The Wulin were originally invaders. Why are they now trying to make them the invaded? Well, the reason why is because the For Honor developers forgot all the nuance and gray territory that they planned since year 4. Now they're just going into Horkos evil, Horkos do evil things, everyone else victimized. What if Ruth became evil and a warmonger? I don't see that happening. Regarding your Sohei Samurai hero idea, I think giving him a Tachi with a sheath would be better than Nagamaki since he was trained in the ways of the Kyoshin, like you said. Let me tell you why I disagree, guys. How would you make the Tachi different, not only in use, but in design than the katana? Because the Tachi and katana, though different weapons, are very, very similar. You would have them both looking the same, and being used functionally the same as the Orochi and the Kyoshin. The Nagamaki, while similar to the Nodachi that the Kensei uses, could be used somewhat differently. So I disagree with that entirely. That's why I didn't go with the Tachi. If we don't get a new map, I'm going to do War Crime in Uganda. Why Uganda? Hopefully it will either be a Tiandi, Zhangjun, or Zanhu hero skin today. I'm going to bet money it's on Shaolin, because Shaolin's the character we saw in the GIF. Hey Raven, what are your thoughts on the Battle of Agincourt? Probably one of the most famous battles in medieval history. Really cool battle to look over, but a little overblown when you consider that the French still won the war. How much time we got? We got 40 minutes. We got plenty of time, but guys, we got plenty of time. And we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I'm excited. I'm legitimately excited. I thought about brewing some tea before this, but I didn't. Hey, we just took a line and completely forgot they were supposed to be writing a war. Yep. Why Uganda? Because he knows the way. A Sun Wukong skin for Shaolin would go crazy. Yeah, it would. To be fair, when they built and put out the gray area during year 4, the community was up in arms over the whole Draconite versus realism debate. If everything I do keeps getting flamed, I'd be scared too. I think the Draconite, everyone goes off on the Draconite saying that it's the worst thing Ubisoft ever done. I disagree. The Draconite was not the worst decision ever done. The problem is the Draconite lost its consistency. When the Draconite was first revealed as a weapon of Horkos, I was fine with it. When it was revealed that it was being mined throughout year 4, I was like, okay, then surely this is going to have a larger impact on the years later. And then we found out that Griffin could use the Draconite to heal people rather than hurt people. Okay, that shows a lot of versatility with the substance. And then we move on to the next year, and it's completely forgotten about. We no longer care about Draconite. I'm like, okay, you introduced this substance as a MacGuffin, but never decided to expand on it. That was stupid. You should have expanded on it. You should have built on it. I don't mind Draconite as a substance being used. It's what you do with it. And it's clear that they only used it as a temporary thing. What do you think the Night Hero skin will be? We've already got plenty of Night Hero skins. I'm hoping we don't get another one. Hey Raven, would Warmonger have worked better if she was based on the Landsconnect? She was. If Valk never gets a helmet that reveals her face, I hope it happens in a hero skin. Hey, I hope so too. Hello, I love the moves. Honestly, I think Ubisoft has completely forgot about Chimera. They haven't forgotten about Chimera, they just don't know what to do with Chimera. They have no idea what to do with Chimera right now, because remember, the fact is, they need a bad guy. They need to make all the other factions, besides the Knights, look like they're victims, look like they're being mistreated, look like they're hurting, and they need someone to do it. So they get Horkos to do it. The problem is, in this war, Chimera is supposed to be the one fighting them, but if Chimera tries to fight them, then they can't victimize these other factions and groups. So they have to remove Chimera, and they don't know how to do that, so they just don't write about Chimera. They kind of think, if we just don't mention Chimera, maybe no one will ask. And I'm like, no, I'm asking. He could use the Tachi and Sheath in an offensive quick draw stance, similar to Highlander, so instead of being more defense like Kyoshin, he's more offensive. Well, again, that's Orochi. Orochi is more offensive. Orochi is all about the fast, rapid-fire attacking. And you want to talk about quick draw, what about the Storm Rush that Orochi has? I mean, guys, I'm not disagreeing with you. The Tachi would be neat, but you can't come up with a way to use it and a way to design it that wouldn't be already what we have with the Katana and the weapon of the Kyoshin. My brain isn't working right now, so I can't remember what it's called. We need more Wulin maps. Agreed. When will the stream start? In about 35 minutes. Currently trying out Medjai with a Hero Festival. I really expected more with the stances. Many people have been split on Medjai. Some say that he's too weak. Some say that he's too OP. I kind of sit somewhere in the middle. Guess what? People complain about offensive Orochi. Exactly. Like, think about it. Orochi has dodge cancellations, rapid fire light attacks, a deflect, which is God tier, that can flow into an unblockable overhead or just a side heavy. Dodge lights, dodge backlight, dodge forward light, storm rushes that are undodgeable. The dude is offensive machine material. So, look, if your argument is, well, you could make the Sohei offensive, sorry, that's Orochi. We could give them the Tachi, that's the Katana, only with a different step, you know? Hey, Raven, would Astria have worked better if she was trying to pull a Chin Chuang and unite Heathmore? No, because Unity would go against Apollyon. I remember seeing the world map just fully green and infected with Draconite, but we still saw Draconite on the world map in year 5, but then I think that was just gone, probably. Do you think we need the Chimera as a good guy faction? No, I don't want the good or bad guy faction to be a thing. I want nuance. That is a fair point, Raven. I do appreciate your input, and Nagamaki would probably be better then. That's my thing. And I don't disagree. Tachi would be kind of neat, but you have no way to make the Tachi unique, and that's the ultimate problem with making new heroes in For Honor. How do you insert a weapon set that will not copy everyone else's, you know? That's why whenever people say, I want a Spartan hero, okay, I'd say, okay, what weapons would they have? A spear and shield. How would that be different than Valkyrie? Okay, maybe a sword and shield. How would that be different from Warlord? Okay, maybe just a sword then. How would that be different from Centurion? See, as you go down the list, you start to realize, man, it gets harder and harder and harder to create these heroes. That's why the Vikings, I think, are in a very tough position. See, everyone complains, oh, the Vikings don't get new heroes. I get that, but at the other end of that spectrum, realize Ubisoft has a tough job to do. The Vikings do not have a wide plethora of weapons. And that's not a bad thing. The Vikings were pretty straightforward. You know, you have your axes, you have your swords, you have your spears, you have your shields. That's pretty much all you needed. You didn't need a whole lot of random fancy-ass weapons when you're trained to do one thing, and that's kill the other guy. It's a very smart warrior who knows how to do a lot with little, you know? So the Vikings, because they had a much smaller period of history than the Knights and Samurai and did a lot with little, you got to give credit for that. But the downside is that when you're creating a bunch of heroes based on the Vikings, you're going to run out of weapons really quick. So people who always say, no, dude, we could get an axe and shield Viking warrior. I'm down for that. I'm cool with that. How will they fight differently than Warlord? How will they fight differently than Berserker? How will they fight differently than Shaman? Like, how will you make them unique? That's the ticket. And you might say, well, I don't care if they're unique. I just want the hero. You may not care, but do you know what everyone was complaining about with characters like with Griffin and Warmonger and Kyoshin and Hitakiri and Magi? Everyone was complaining, wow, these heroes are just using reused movesets and animations. They're just reusing character animations. They're just doing this over. Like, see, I may not care. You may not care, but a lot of people give a shit. And I don't like that they give that much of a shit, but they do. Anyway. Raven Knight, are there any media depictions about a samurai using a straight single-edged sword that is not katana? Are there any samurai depictions that use a scabbard to attack? I'm sure there are. They're probably in anime somewhere, but I haven't looked for them. I feel like Medjai's offensive axe stance is a bit lackluster. He has instant hyper armor and mad hitboxes with staff stance, but axe stance kind of meh. Should get dodge cancer to flex at least. The axe stance, I actually prefer to the staff stance and one-on-ones more so than anything because I can use the unblockable to bait out a response. But I agree. In Dominion matches, staff stance is superior because of that hyper armor. The problem is it's so damn slow, people can see it coming a mile away. Yo, Raven, could they get away with giving a Viking a bill hook, or would that be too far-fetched? I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I don't see it. Though to be fair, there's not much difference between Warmonger and Warden, their swords. There's still enough difference between them to be unique. Yes, I agree. There is enough difference. But many people have pointed out Warmonger is just better Warden. Anyway. Hey Raven, which character of mine would be better suited to the name Morwen Morven? A Morgan-inspired shaman or a gender swap Mordred-inspired warmonger? I do not know. Man, I wish I could get a winged hussar here, but I don't know how they would even add that. I don't know either, since they were a cavalry unit. Are Ninjato Ninjakin historical at all? No, there's no evidence to suggest that they existed. Raven, do you have a theory of what this season can be a game theory? I mean, I know it's just going to be Wulin. I don't know anything else. I think people say Medjai is so strong is because of his high damage and the ridiculous hyper armor. Yes, I think that's one of the reasons. They made a moveset out of a sledgehammer, so Bill Hook isn't out of the question. It's not out of the question, I just don't know how I would see that implemented. Maybe instead of a season or even a year that focuses on heroes, we might get new maps that is inspired by all the factions. Agreed. Raven Knight, how come some of the Tiandi set have a more Arabian look? I don't know that myself. Maybe it's because China's close relationship with India. I don't know. I want a Spanish knight hero with a rapier. I don't see it. And I just think Warmonger is in from Wardens and she's more savage and bitch slaps people. Oh yeah, there's definitely a different personality. I do believe that most of the For Honor heroes have a specific kind of persona to them or personality. You think they could pull off an assassin here for the Samurai Wulin that uses a rope dart? I'd like it, but I don't think we'll get it. Magi Hero Fest is out, and the execution is good. Yeah, I saw it. I want you to talk about the 10 Commandments in your future videos. Would also like the 7 Heavenly Virtues and the 7 Deadly Sins. We probably won't cover the 7 Heavenly Virtues or the 7 Deadly Sins, because I want to focus specifically on the Bible, and the Bible doesn't mention those. But I will talk about the 10 Commandments at some point. Although, to be fair, lots of people are telling me that I should abandon that idea entirely. Raven, you think it's possible to get a disarmed hero or a hero with fist weapons like a Kestis? I mean, that'd be cool. I'm down for it. What's your opinion on the Nagamaki? It's neat, but underutilized. But he doesn't see it. I don't see it. How about a hero with a rapier and a gun? No, I'm tired of guns. Pirate is the only character I will accept having a gun. I don't want any more guns. Raven Knight, it's going to introduce new healing items. It's going to be the Chinese food, which will give you poison that will deal more damage than it heals, but over time, giving a temporary heal for damage. Oh. Neat. I for Gore, is this the season we get the new Viking hero? No, next season. Let's hope the Lawbringer rework gives back the stun over every top heavy instead of the infinite top combo chain. We'll see. Anyway, whew. I'm talking non-stop. Need a moment. Whew. Viking hero could be a Saxon with a Godadong pike. Nah, I don't see that either because we already have the pikeman. Am I the only one that believes that Black Prior needs a rework? You might be the only one who thinks that. Many people like him the way he is. A hero with nunchucks, maybe? That is something new. It would be, but I'd be very disappointed in that since nunchucks are kind of crap tier weapons. Are you familiar with Michael Heiser's Divine Council theology? No. Raven Knight, should JJ be buffed? No, I think he's fine. What's your opinion on an S-stock wielding hero? I don't know what an S-stock is, so... If that damn stun is brought back with LB's rework, God help us all. I know. The only time I see guns being used is if the next samurai hero is one for his fourth feat. I just don't see it. Pirate could have had a reload mechanic by pressing back and the guard break button like Glad's toe stab. Maybe, but if they did that, they'd have to increase the damage of the weapon and give it a little bit more balance, I think. Are Sai Japanese or Chinese? Japanese. Raven, would you rather have Ubisoft continue the Horkos invade thing or have them revive Apollyon? Don't revive Apollyon. Don't continue Horkos. Get creative. Come up with something better. Hey, Raven, how are you? I'm okay. I like how Raven is speed reading the chat. I'm trying to. They're coming by so fast. I want an uncheck hero just so people would react to him. I don't want that because the reaction phase would die. I want a character that'll be timeless. How would you feel about a range focus hero with terrible melee? No! No. That's a terrible idea. This is a game where melee is the consistent thing. Range is a bad thing. You're thinking about pre-rework Shinobi. Pre-rework Shinobi was hated because he was primarily range. He would just hang back far away from the opponent off screen and just throw his ranged heavies. It was a terrible idea. Terrible. I feel like the stream will be a bit meh and have little in terms of actual content, and the real meat of the season will come in TU2. Maybe so. Sai originally from Okinawa, right? Yes, Sai originally an Okinawan weapon. I just want a nunchuck here so I can be Michelangelo. Okay. Raven Knight, wouldn't it be better to add Nagamaki as a simply customization option for Kensei? No. Because the Kensei's weapon is longer than a Nagamaki. Raven, what are your thoughts about the Viking hero coming at the end of the year? I'm excited. Where's my Grim Reaper hero, man? That'd be cool. Raven, we need a Warden or Conqueror hero skin that is literally a Breton Knight. Warhammer Fantasy. Ha! Hey, I would love it if we got a medieval executioner with an executioner sword. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. What do you think about a bare knuckle box with a grab where he knees your nose? That'd be sick. Make it a TIE Warrior. $1.99 from Paladins Templar. How's life, Raven? Hope everything is going good. It's going better than it has been, man. Appreciate the money. Thank you so much. Raven Knight, they should make the Space Wolves invade Heathmore and add Leman Russ. No, because Heathmore would be destroyed. I think the Pirate might be the only hero with a firearm because the pistol is a matchlock pistol, though I might be mistaken. I think Pirate will be the only... Well, actually, I think it's a flintlock pistol. But if it was a matchlock, it'd be a little different. But, no, I think that Pirate will be the only hero with a gun. I think that that's the way to go. A Shark Teeth Knuckle Duster? That'd be kind of weird. Raven Knight, do you think Warden, Kensei, and Shugoku will get a Hero Fest this season? I have no idea. Wait, I thought Nagamaki were essentially just an Odachi with a longer handle. No, they're essentially a katana with a longer handle. Have you seen the Wulin minions in the trailer? No. I miss heroes with the option of gender swap. I miss those too, but I understand why they can't do them. It's a money thing because you would have to pay two different voice actors to do the same character, and they have to focus their money on what they know that they can afford. Hey Raven, does the BP get plate armor at any point after Rep 4? He gets some. It's mixed. What do you think of the Warhammer 40k movie? I have no thoughts one way or another. I haven't seen it. Do you think a CX would be better for a Viking hero? If it's a CX, how would it be different than any other dagger or short sword user? You used to say that you would love to see a Rajput faction. Would you make a whole year of ideas video for a faction you would like to see? Maybe eventually, sure. What do you think of the plagues of Egypt or the insult to the Egyptian gods? I think that there's truth to that. I think that each of the plagues was an insult to the Egyptian gods. I did a whole video on that, and it's not available on YouTube. It's available on BitChute. Why is the Imperium not winning when they have tanks? Can Chaos Space Marines cut through the armor? Because they're not the only ones with tanks. I mean, the Imperium has tanks, but so does everyone else. We definitely don't need no more guns. This isn't Revolutionary War. This is For Honor. Correct. I just wish Pirate has met Wu Lin. I agree. Why wasn't Pirate Wu Lin? Medjay or Afira have a higher chance having Hero Fest than others. Medjay already had his Hero Fest. Afira has not had her. I want Warden to get his Hero Fest. I want him to get a new hero. Let's see how long we got. 25 minutes. We're still doing good. Were there any historical warriors that were primarily left-handed? Not that I know of. I'm sure there were, but not that I know of. Raven, which warrior in history would be the less likely to ever join For Honor? The Seljuks. I doubt I'd ever see them in For Honor. I doubt that highly. Any major villain from history which I could base a warmonger on? Oh, there are plenty. Hey Raven, what's 2 + 2? It is the answer to life. Hey Raven, how about a Norska hero for a Viking hero? Nah. Currently imagining a single red coat charging into the game of Dominion bayonet raise. That'd be funny. Are they showing the hero skin? I hope so. True, very true. CX is a one-sided knife, so less stabbing, more cuts, but it's a better weapon for a sidearm, not the main weapon in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, I just saw the Nagamaki in action. I gotta say, I can definitely see it utilized better than the Tachi. Definitely see some uniqueness with it. Yeah, it would be similar to Kensei's weapon, but unique enough that I think it could be used. As a BP man, I specifically target Afira's law. Gotta keep to the lore correct. Hey, Ruben, how would you destroy Horkos? I'd get Chimera to get off their ass and do something. Have you even read any good manga lately? Yes, I've read a few good manga lately, and I'm in the middle of one, and it's very funny. I'd say that For Honor takes place between 800 and 1800 CE. No, it can't have, because For Honor has lasted for the war. The Cataclysm took place over 1,000 years ago, and so it's been 1,000 years since then to the present day. What many people suspect is that the Cataclysm happened sometime around 1000 AD, and it's not CE, by the way. Common Era is a ludicrous thing. The idea of the Common Era is retarded, okay? Not retarded, it's stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. People who throw out, well, it's the Common Era, not ours, dominate, it's Common Era. That's stupid. That is stupid. But more to the point, it would be probably around our modern day, actually, that For Honor is taking place. It's just alternate history. How does it feel that the Knights in For Honor can never use horses in actual gameplay? Feels sad, man. Hey, Raven, have any good places to buy some LARP armor? No, because I don't do LARPing. While on the topic of manga, have you ever read Berserk? I started it, haven't finished it. If they could do a non-gender locked hero every so often, like every 18 months or 2 years, I think it would make for everyone happy. Maybe so. Hey Raven, how would a spear and dagger character be for a Viking hero, using a spear for pokes and long slashes and forcing the opponent to get close, but the dagger can be used for parries and bleed? If they can make it work. What caused the Common Era? Insert Chad theme. Yeah, exactly. Whenever people say CE, it's CE. We don't want to be offensive. Yeah, what's the difference? When does the Common Era start? What was the big starting factor of the Common Era? Yeah. Even if you use the phrase Common Era, it still ties into Year of Our Lord. It still ties into Jesus. So even if you want to change the name to be less offensive, it's still AD. We need more maps, Ubisoft, new game modes. Agreed. If we get another Outlander hybrid, no, I don't think we'll get another Outlander this year. How How would I defeat Horkos? Well, I would simply discuss peace treaties with them. Psych, I'd borrow some guns from Pirate Mirko. Hell yeah, correct. Raven, what would you think about an open Wolf for Honor game? That'd be sick. It won't happen, though. Raven Knight, how come Ubisoft never presents the Peacekeepers as main rivals of the Warmongers, considering their names are direct opposites? That's a good question. I don't know why they didn't do that. What about Christ era? No, Allos Domini is just fine. Allos Domini is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I shall watch the ad to support Raven. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And right now we've got 125 viewers. That's awesome. Hey, Raven, do you ever get tired of reading the collective brain cells that is chat? Sometimes, but I mean, the real issue is it's hard to keep track of everything in chat. That's the only issue. Does the Bible ever mention dinosaurs? And if so, why weren't they on the ark? The Bible does not mention dinosaurs. Many people, I've actually heard people argue that the Bible can't be trusted because it doesn't mention dinosaurs. And my response to that is, I'm sorry you read a religious text with the hope of finding a paleontology book. The Bible doesn't mention dinosaurs because they're not relevant to the discussion of creation, at least in terms of theology. God didn't need to quickly add, oh, by the way, and there were dinosaurs, because why? You know, all we need to know is that God created everything living and breathing on the earth. That's all we need to know. Like, for example, God doesn't mention dodo birds, you know. He doesn't mention great white sharks in the Bible. He doesn't mention megalodon in the Bible. He doesn't mention Archaeopteryx in the Bible. He doesn't mention a lot of things in the Bible. Doesn't mean that it's any less valid. Anyway, would you ever do a video on the female emperors of Japan and the impact they had on Japanese history? That would be a short video, but sure, because they didn't have a great deal of impact. Because the emperors of Japan would not. By the time of the Heian period and all the way to the end of the Edo period, the emperors didn't do a whole lot for Japan. They didn't make a whole lot of change. It was the shogun that did. Dinosaurs are just a beta test. Actually, my theory about why God created dinosaurs is fossil fuel. I believe that God created dinosaurs for two reasons. One, for the entertainment of people today. God gave us entertainment from those creatures existing. And two, fossil fuel. Because the dinosaurs and everything around them existed and died, and their body became energy in the earth through fuel and stuff like that, that's what gave us fossil fuel. I believe that was why God created dinosaurs, so that we would have that in the future. Any thoughts about live-action One Piece? I know you like One Piece. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I'm scared to watch it. Plus, I don't have Netflix, so there you go. I don't take the Bible as a historical text, more of a moral guide instead. Is that weird? It's not weird. Lots of people do that, except there are aspects of the Bible that are really historical. Like, for example, the book of Esther, you can tie back to real history. Jesus' existence is historical. We have historical proof to say that he existed. Lots of stuff in the Bible is historical. However, there are definite parts of the Bible that are more about how to live, and so I'll give you that one. There were a few that made a difference. I did not say that there were not any that made a difference, Kensei. I said that for the majority of the cases, between the Heian period and the end of the Edo period, up to the Meiji period, they really didn't do all that much because the shogun had all the power. I didn't say no emperors made a difference. I said most didn't during this time period. So I know you like to refute me, but that didn't work for you. Hey, Ruben, how cool would it be limited events where instead of riding horses, we all rode T-Rexes? That'd be sick. So according to you, the Lord supports global warming. I did not say it. What the hell? No, he doesn't support global warming because I don't buy the idea that fossil fuels could cause that big of an issue. Keep in mind that when volcanoes erupt, they cause more damage to the overall atmosphere than all the fossil fuels running for 10 years. You are aware of that, right? And besides that, I think the idea, here's the thing, I'm not saying that humanity can't have an impact on the environment, but the idea that we could have such a devastating impact that we could irrevocably destroy the world is nonsense. Do you really think that God would have created this earth in a manner that we could so easily break it? Yeah, that's ridiculous. Raven Knight, did you know that Pirate got her ship at a Rulin Harbor? Oh, cool. I was joking. Oh. I thought, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, Ultra. People come at me all the time. Okay, here's the thing. Whenever I tell people I'm a Christian, people come at me all the time with questions and stuff like that. So I was in full defensive mode. I apologize. I didn't mean to come down on you like that. I thought you were straight up criticizing. Hey, Raven, if you wanted, you misinterpreted what I said. No, I didn't. I read it exactly what you said, and I responded to it. Hey, Raven, if you wanted a new faction of anything from history, what would you add? Raj put, is Katana overrated? Sometimes it's overrated, sometimes it's underrated. I've heard people go both ways. I still think that Kensei is B1, the Klonka that claims to be a Viking fall. No, I don't think that. It was a goof. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't that easy to. It was. Yeah, that's the thing. Reading chat can sometimes throw me off. It's like because I can't always hear. Like I can't hear sarcasm in a text. You know. I fought a toxic player in For Honor and crushed him. Hey, that's the way to go, man. That's the way to go. Gotta. The best way. It's like Chris Raygun said. The best way to bully other players is not to lose. Raven, you were a biblical scholar, were you not? I trained as one. I studied a lot of the Bible growing up. I didn't go to seminary or anything, but yes, I have studied the Bible for a long time, ever since I was a kid. So yes, I would say I'm a scholar of some degree. Do you think it's wrong to only accept certain teachings in the Bible and not all of them? I would say it's not Christian. I would say it is unchristian to discount the Bible. I think it's more important to understand the Bible in context. Because I think there are people who say, I like this part of the Bible, but this part of the Bible is problematic. What I would say then is, okay, what's problematic about it? And then we can talk it out. But to just say, I reject this part but accept this part, you can't do that. Because all of the Bible is God's Word. You may not understand why it says what it does, but it has a reason for saying that. I said there were very few. And Kensei, I want you to hear me when I say this. I tell you to read my lips, but you can't see them. I did not say there were none. Anyway, is the Medjai's fan staff a real weapon? No. Raven, if Europe is a united political entity, would they be able to provide knight armor for all the peasant soldiers similar to the Romans? No, I don't think that would happen. Raven, I was considering so far which part do you hate most about AC Valhalla. The lore. The lore is terrible. Imagine Raven not just reading the Bible as a series. Fallen Angel, I'm actually planning on doing that, and I've been getting hate for it. I actually released yesterday a post asking which Bible study session you'd like me to go through. I've got a plan to go through Esther. I'm really excited to go through Esther. That is an underappreciated book of the Bible, and it's one of my favorites. I want to go through that. The life of King David, I would just go through the highlights of King David's life. The book of Romans, talking about the message of salvation and what it means to be saved. And unpacking of the Ten Commandments. I would love to do all those. Those are the 4 that I put up. And so far, people have voted mostly for Romans. But I've also gotten comments saying, don't do it. It's going to alienate us. I don't want to read the Bible. And I'm like, okay. What's your thought on September's first PS Plus games? I don't play PS. Whatever. I've recently been playing I haven't looked into it that much, I'll be honest. The games that I've been playing mostly besides For Honor are Rainbow Six Siege, Dead by Daylight, Genshin Impact, and I've been replaying Hogwarts Legacy. So those are the games I've been playing the most right now. Raven, I appreciate your passion for Christian theology. No one talks about it in a civil matter online. People are rude. They really are. I've gotten used to it, and that's and that's why I apologized earlier. I'm so used to people harassing me or coming after me, like, "Oh, you believe in a sky daddy? Well, what do you believe in this?" And then I go, "Hold on, let's actually talk about this." Like it's one of those things. If the Samurai Mulan have an emperor in the lore, do knights and Vikings have their own kings? I'd like to know that too. I wish they mentioned that. My mom makes me go to Christian school because I don't believe in God. I'm sorry that she makes you do that. No one should force Christianity on anyone. No one should force faith on anyone. It should be something you choose. But know that she does it out of love. My point is that I wasn't refuting you. In fact, I wasn't even talking to you when I said there were very few. Okay, whatever, Kensei. Gotcha. I, for one, am looking forward to your Bible study series. Thank you, Paladin Templar. To be fair, it's like, don't watch the video. Agreed. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Raven Knight, are you going to play Atomic Heart? No. Raven, what part of AC Valhalla are you at? Oh, God. I just finished the bit with Cheobert and Ragnar uniting these people. Raven, what part of... I read that. Hey, Raven, what do you think about evolution and God? We do not know exactly how God brought about creation. We know that which order he did it in, but we don't know what method he used. He could very well have used evolution to help create reality. He very well could have done that. I'm not saying he didn't. But the idea of saying it's either evolution or God, these two things aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. We don't know how God did it. But also keep in mind that the idea of evolution, in the sense that Darwin talked about it, was the idea that species will evolve and change to suit their environment. That doesn't go contrast in anything that the Bible says. But anyway, $5 from Arch St. Michael. Hey, Raven, did you have any plans for finishing your Crusade series? I want to. It's just sitting down and doing it. I've got so many projects right now, it's hard to do it. Raven, I used to be a Christian and stopped going to church because of my family's toxic history, so I need an outside opinion. I am not religious, even though I don't believe in God, but I don't go to, so I am not religious, even though I don't believe in God, but I don't go to church. Okay, so here's the thing. The church is not a building. The church is the people. Here's the thing. Sometimes I work and I can't go to church. That's something that happens to me. So there's nothing wrong with that. But it is good to have a community of people, of like-minded individuals who can help grow your faith. So even if I met someone who says, I don't go to church, am I still a Christian? My response would be, yes, but who do you grow your faith with? That would be my question. Because the Bible says that it is better for a man to have company in his faith. In other words, build a community, like a small group, or like, for example, my best buddy Jay White. He's one of the artist friends who draws so much for me. Actually, he drew something hilarious. Hold on, let me see if I can't pull this up. Did I save it? I hope no, I didn't save it. I'll show it on Discord. I'll show it on Discord if I haven't already. But he loves to draw pictures for me. He and I are accountability partners, so we talk about spiritual stuff all the time. So he's someone that I could consider a community member. The theory of evolution and religion could go hand in hand. They could. We don't know. If Adam was the first man and man was made in God's image, does that mean Adam was somebody who would have looked the most similar to God himself? Actually, that's a misunderstanding. When we say made in God's image, that doesn't mean that we look like God. It means that we can do the things that God does. We are the only species capable of speech, because keep in mind, what did God do before man was created? He created things out of nothing. And man is very capable of doing that. We are capable of seeing a world in front of us and building on it. We are very capable of saying, we will now create electricity. We will now create a house. We will now create roads. We will now create a government. We will now create... We are very capable of creating. We are very capable of speaking, of learning, of growing, of changing. We are the only species that grew out from a nakedness, crawling on the ground looking for berries, into a civilization that has cars and planes. We have created and grown and built something new out of almost nothing. And that is what it means to be in God's image. We are capable of rational thought. We are capable of recognizing right versus wrong. We're capable of morality. We're capable of creation. These are things that make us in God's image. Anyway. Is it true that we can't eat meat in heaven due to the fact that we don't kill in heaven? Nah, I'm sure. Heaven's rules are going to be crazy, man. I can't wait. Well, I can. I mean, it's kind of that old line. We all want to go to heaven, but no one wants to go today. Yeah, I like that line. I'm kind of new to fully embracing Christianity, so I can't watch the Bible studies. That might be... hey, man, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. I'm not going to make you. God is truth, science is truth. It can definitely go hand in hand, in my opinion. Absolutely. Science, in my opinion, comes from God. Because God created the rules that create science. Because think about it. The very first verse in the Bible, Genesis 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created light. God said, let there be light. And it was there. And then God separated the light from the darkness and called the light day and the dark night. There you go. He created a scientific principle of astronomy and astrology and meteorology right there. Created it. We just follow it. Anyway, Ravenite, how come there are no Byzantine counterparts in Warhammer Fantasy? I actually don't know. I'm not as familiar with Warhammer Fantasy. What is it about Genshin Impact that's got so many people playing it? I've gotten a relentless amount of ads for it, and my level of interest for it is in the negatives. I'll be honest, I got into Genshin Impact because Hannah was into it. And Hannah's my friend, and I wanted to do stuff with her. And that's how I got into it. Sorry, I misreading that. Hey, Raven Knight, I for one am not religious, but I do admire your passion and admiration for ideals. In my opinion, it makes you a good man and is quite inspiring. Well, thank you. I'm glad you can at least respect it. There are lots of people who couldn't even do that. Raven Knight, I'm pretty sure you've answered this before, but what version of the Bible do you recommend for us newbies? The one you'll read. I don't think that here's the thing. I don't want to say, oh, this version of the Bible is so better than the other. Here's the thing. Read the version you're willing to read. The one that you're willing to pick up and read, that's the one you should read. I personally go with the King James Version and the New International Version mostly because I think the New International Version is probably the easiest to read. It's got the most simplistic language and diction. But the KJV is a very fascinating read. The KJV is a very fascinating read. But if you're a newbie to the Bible, NIV is a very safe one to go through. So is the ESV. Those are good ones. Raven, I've been reading a fun manga called Dan Da Dan. Heard of it? It's a three-way war between high schoolers, yokai monsters, and aliens. Cryptids. Friggin' hilarious and great art. I'll look into that. God created the universe in 7 days. Are you kidding? It's so obvious that it was people that were making up this stuff. What is a day to God? Katarina, my question is, what is a day to God? Because that's a common misconception. People always say, oh, God only created the universe in 7 days. Well, what is a day to God? Maybe a day to God is thousands of years, millions of years. What is a day when you exist outside of time and space? When you exist outside of the reality of time and space, a day to you is not a day to us. We recognize time by day and night. God recognizes time in a different sense. So when it says God created the universe in 7 days, that may not mean 7 of our days. That may mean 7 different kinds of days. So keep that in mind. Plus, it does not say that God created light and dark, and meaning that he created the sun and moon. He created light and dark, and that's what separated it. Later, he created the sun and moon. That's a different level of light right there. Anyway. Hey, Raven, why did you choose Baptist as opposed to other denominations? I didn't really choose it. I was raised Baptist, and I just stuck with it. What are your thoughts of the 2 dwarven houses in the Red Mountains? Shoot, I don't know. It's been so long since I've read The Lord of the Rings. Hey, Raven Knight, your stories have inspired me to make one with a friend. We're calling it Fallen Grace. Sweet! I look forward to reading it. If you look into Jewish literature, you know that they work in metaphors. Correct. How did time even come about? This type of stuff is not for those with simple minds. Exactly. Time is a concept. The quantum understanding is not an easy concept, you know? Maybe a day to God is more like an hour. I wouldn't go that far. Did God himself write the Old Testament? No, there were people who wrote it. No, it was people, so it is only possible that that mean literally weak. Okay, does that mean that since then let me respond with this. So people wrote it down. But what if a person wrote down that God exists outside of time and space? Because if you read the Bible, they make it clear that God is beyond time. So if they were writing, here's the thing, the Bible was divinely inspired, especially the portions of the Old Testament. In the book of Genesis, which many people think was written by Moses, but we can't be sure, it was divinely inspired. God told him what to write and what to put down. From God's perspective, it could have been his version of days rather than Moses' versions of days. Moving on. Raven Knight, what specific religion did the Knights of For Honor adhere to? They don't have a religion. That's the thing. That's what pisses me off. Ubisoft will not just let them be Christian. They have made sure to avoid that. Everyone wasn't a lot of language of the original Bible written in Hebrew or Greek. Some parts of it were. Hey Raven, do you think the hero's going to be a Monkey King, or will they go with Nusha because not to marry? I don't know. I'm hoping it's Sun Wukong, but I don't know. That's the reason why time is so hard to comprehend in space movies. Exactly. God created the sun to get rid of the Isu. Nobody asked for those idiots. Based Geist take. All right, we got about 2 minutes. Well, actually 12 minutes before, but it's going to give us the opening thing. Anyway, I sincerely congrats Raven for doing an amazing job of seed reading chat. Thank you, man. Raven Knight, your thoughts on the Fourth Crusade? It was a clusterfuck, no question. One of the worst examples. According to one source, I heard the entire timeline of the universe up until humanity can be evenly proportioned into 7 equal parts that match up with the timeline of the 7-day thing. Hey, there you go. You know, I'm not saying that's correct. I'm just saying it's a possibility. The problem is we can't go like God can't have created the universe in 7 days. That's 24 hours each day. That can't be possible. Well, who says that 24 hours is a day to God, you know? Anyway, Raven Knight, people with common sense would never give Centurion pants. That is true. With the Knights being the evil bad guys right now, I don't think I'd want them to be Christian. Ha! Well, the funny thing is, I think they made them Christian because I think they made them bad guys because they connect to historical Christian Knights. Anyway, Sun Wukong would be pretty fire. Agreed. I'm Christian. I'm writing stories with heavy biblical iconography and symbolism. Species are referred to as Seraphs and Abbas, for example. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. All right, we got less than a minute before things get fired up, so I'm excited. Kyoshin bare chest. Ugh, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Kyoshin bare chested. That's too much pretty boy energy. If there was one species you wish didn't exist, what would it be? Mammoth dodo or saber-toothed dodo? What have they offered to the world? Nothing. Raven will definitely be watching your Bible study. I gotta go. Later, Alec. I always like when people try to apply their own limitations to the creator of all things. True, though. It's true, though. Sun Wukong isn't actually in Raid Shadow Legends. Ah, god dang it. All right. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and get this up. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this screen so I can get chat up on the screen. Oh, man, guys, I'm stoked. I'm so stoked. All right. Pull this up. I mean, last time I checked, everywhere else where the Bible refers to time, it's for speaking literally. Well, in certain parts of the Bible, yes, but we're not talking about certain parts. We're talking about Genesis. Genesis is where the creation story came from. And in the book of Genesis, we don't understand the full reach of time. Like, for example, if you look at Genesis 1 through 2, it talks about the creation story. But then when we jump to Genesis 3, it talks about Cain and Abel. That's a lot of time jumped. We don't know how long that was. And then after Cain and Abel, we get into the story of Noah. We don't know how much time was jumped there. You know, we don't understand what time was in certain parts of the book of Genesis. In the beginning portions of Genesis, time is not specified very clearly. So, but yes, in other parts of the Bible, yes, it is more specific. But in Genesis, creation, which is what you're criticizing, it was more specific. Sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. I didn't say that! Hey, if Raid wants to reach out to me and sponsor me, I won't say no, but I'm not going to give them clout until they do, you know? There's a Monkey King animated movie on Netflix. I have seen it. Whoa! For Honor, Deceit? Oh my god, what is this? I suddenly got Zhong Li flashbacks. Okay, so what have we got here? We got Zhang Jun, we got Nushu, we got Tian Di. It is very hard. It is very hard to tell what the season is about just based on this. Okay, we've got a Tian Di head right here, and that's a skull inside of it. We got a Shaolin up here. We got some minions standing in the background right there. What's up there? I'm gonna be honest. This music isn't bad, but it's not what I expected. Especially with a season called Deceit. Deceit. That sounds really cool. I like the name Deceit, but this doesn't sound like Deceit. It sounds more like I just walked into a Chinese opera house. The Knights in For Honor being Christian would be very unique in the world. I would like them to be Christian, but they're not. Noah, come fat hippos, get in the boat, would you please? Dying. Noah, what do you want? Yeah, I remember that. Ubisoft actually hearing Raven, let's go. They heard Raven's ideas and no, I don't think that's true. Because I knew at the beginning of the year that they were going to do a Wulin here season. I knew that they were going to do a Wulin season. So I don't think it's because they heard my ideas. I wish they would hear my ideas. Oh wait, whoa, I hear it now, I hear it. Okay. I like this music. Come on. Ooh. Oh! Come on. Wow. Come on. Yeah! Yes! Fuck this beat! That background drum, it's sick! Ooh! Ah, that's good. I like the name Deceit now because it fits, doesn't it? Like, it's like, it deceived me. I thought, this music's kind of meh, but then it got hard. Hey, Raven, why is the Book of Revelation the hardest one to understand? Because it's very metaphorical and filled with a lot of prophecy. Ah, this beak. Oh. Did they just drop the beat? Did they just effing drop the beat into silence? Okay, that was sick. Okay, that was sick. Oh, that was good. Okay, at first, it was so funny. I was listening to the music theme at first and was kind of like, it's okay. It's not bad, but it's okay. Then all of a sudden, it just got hard. Like, damn, son. Oh, that was good. You've never heard me scream so hard? Oh, you just wait. Go back and watch some of my other live streams. I've screamed. I've actually been criticized. People have said, I can't watch Raven's live streams anymore because he always screams in them. I'm an excitable person. All right. Oh, by the way, I should ask, since the music is playing, can y'all hear me okay? Like, is my voice coming through okay? I want to make sure that everyone can hear me and the music. Like, because when the stream starts, because I will take this to full screen, but I want to make sure everyone can hear me and them. So, while the music is playing, tell me if you have any trouble hearing me or hearing the music. More video games need the insane amount of heavy metal that Doom and Kingdom Under Fire did. I don't think well, I guess more could use it, but I think it needs to fit the game. Raven, stop screaming at me! I must scream! My voice is good? Sweet! Awesome! Then we don't need to go through all that, random mess up. I'm glad for that. Ubi actually doing something with the Wulin. No more helpless Outlander lore. No. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that the Wulin are going to be the ones getting picked on by Porkos. But then again, I mean, who knows? Oh, thank you for the $4.99. What? I wonder if it's possible to make an Inuyasha build for Kyoshin. I don't know, and I don't really care. Inuyasha wasn't really my favorite anime. I never really got into it that much. Anyway, Raven the Eardrum Destroyer. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll stop. What do you think of this season, Mr. Raven? So far, music is tight. Art is good. I love this Chinese art design. Gives me hard Zhongli memories. Anybody in chat know who Zhongli is? Oh, the beat's back. Gotta just take a moment, man. Gotta appreciate that beat. Raven, can I hear you scream, "For the Emperor!" Ah! There. I won't do it again because I have neighbors. It's interesting that Tiandi's sword covers the person in the fourth throne. That is interesting. I'm pretty sure people are so used to Raven being the For Honor Scholar, so when his voice goes up in volume, people got bamboozled. Ah! Who's John? Not John Lee. Zhongli. Zhongli. I'll type that in chat. Hold on. There. Typed it in chat. Nah, Raven, what the hell? I was asked to! That scream was crazy, I admit. I apologize. Hey, Raven Knight, what do you think about New Tiandi's new skin? I haven't seen it yet. Liu Bang, aka Gao Zilhan, is my favorite Chinese emperor. Cool! Yo, by the way, the faction leaders are sitting in the thrones. Are they? I can't even see the thrones that well. Oh, now it's back to the really soft, relaxing music. Oh. Alright, here we go. I feel like I'm in a Chinese restaurant. wonder how Leaf would have liked this. There, I had to fix that. Sorry. All right, we're back. What's Tian Qilong doing now that Gao Lei is dead? I didn't know he was dead. No, truly, I didn't know he was dead. I mean, are you excited about this game? I am. I'm very excited. Have a good stream, Ruben. I gotta go to class. Later, bro. I hope the main factions are actually important this season. I do too. $1.99. Thank you. I actually like the music changes. I do too. I think it's really cool. I'm gonna go get a coffee, but I'm still listening. I just won't be talking as much for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, we're starting. All right. Let's go ahead and get the big screen. Let's do this, folks. All right. Whoa. I dig the art. I very much dig the art. Lore for the Raven Lord. Thank you, that one mime.
Welcome back, Warriors!
Whoa! Hello! Got peaches, we got lanterns, looking good.
All here is our honored guests. So yeah, it's Warriors Den time. We're back to announce Year 7 Season 3 title update. Who won the first? So it'll go live next week on September 14th. So mark those calendars, or if you have ADHD like me, just say you're going to remember, and then it never happens.
Has that been my problem this whole time?
Possibly.
I got to think
you
about
may
that,
want to seek help. So Nolan,
Not the first time I've heard that.
I think you've got some news on stuff that viewers can earn today via the drops of the Twitch.
That's right.
Well, I'm not watching on Twitch, so this doesn't apply to me.
Twitch drop. We're back. We're live. And if you're watching us on Twitch, which, I mean, you should be at this point, make sure that you go in there and...
I may just go get Chinese food after this just for fun.
And that way, for every 30 minutes you're watching us, you're going to get a scavenger crate. And at the end of the show, we're going to choose some lucky winners to win 100,000 still. I mean, it's the same thing. 100,000 steel, which is going to be great to buy all those amazing new things coming down the line. So new heroes on MTX, all that stuff. All the stuff.
100K goes a long way.
I shouldn't have screamed. Now my throat hurts.
Those accounts, but also keep an eye on those drops because you have to redeem them to earn the next tier. And there's always someone who's like, "No, I didn't redeem it" at the end of the stream, and then I feel bad for them for exactly half a second before I go, "Ha ha."
Well, I mean, we tell you every time, but
that's why.
Yeah.
Raven, drop your voice volume a bit.
Hey, we got something else really cool coming up later this month too, so we're super excited to announce that Into the Fray is coming back. That's right, 2023. It's going to get really competitive this year in For Honor, so we're excited for that. Into the Fray is going to run from September 30th to October 21st, and sign-ups begin today, right now. There's going to be a link. There is a link. It's already here on Battlefy, so you can follow the link and go check it out, sign up. For a bit of info here, we're going to have a $10,000 total prize pool for the Into the Fray, and we're going to have this split up into 2 divisions, the AM division, which stands for amateurs, and the Pro division, hence the Pro-Am thing, and I'm still, again...
I'm not an amateur or a pro. I'm just a loser.
Yeah, that's right. We can't sign up. Telling them right. You weren't supposed to see.
I wasn't supposed to see. Oh, okay, that's okay. We're not going to worry about that. But so, listen, for the amateur division, this is something where you can sign up, but if you've never participated in one of these tournaments, however, if you were previously a finalist in Into the Fray 2022 or the Dominion Series, guess what? You're not an amateur anymore. You're now a pro. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
I'm definitely not a pro.
So
You've been conscripted. Pros.
You have been, whether you like it or not, but you're there, so congratulations on all of that. But yeah, we're going to have, for the amateur division, though, we're going to have 4 qualifying pools, and the winner of those pools is going to move on to the pro division, and the pro division is going to be invitation only, so we're going to have previous Into the Fray winners, Dominion Series winners, etc. So get your teams together, sign up, and get ready for all of that. And finally, once we do get to the pro division for the final qualifiers, we're going to have a big qualifier match and a grand finals match, which is going to stream on right here for Honor Game on Twitch and all that stuff. So
Twitch.tv/For Honor.
There it is. Yeah. So anyway, very excited for that. So if you love some
Hooray!
amazing competitive For Honor, look for the signups and make sure you keep watching. So,
Yeah. So, we got a lot to cover in today's Warriors Den. We've got everything from a new battle pass. We got new map realization. We got gameplay improvement that you're all going to love. And some
Did he say new map customization?
Ooh, yeah.
So they updated a map?
Yeah, we'll pull the curtain off that.
I mean, that's something.
But first, let's check out this Year 7 Season 3 launch trailer. Oh, yeah, and here's the road. And now it's a trailer. We're professionals around here.
All right, trailer, here we go. Whoa! Give me the goods. Let me see.
Welcome, honored guests.
Okay.
Come pay tribute to the spirits of your ancestors. You know well the rules.
Okay.
Stay indoors at night. Fight not near water. Avoid wandering shadows. But above all, never eat the offering.
Okay. What? Testing grounds are back. Sweet.
For the living, the toil of your mortal soul. Let me end its anguish.
Wait,
The
what?
show is about to begin.
What the fuck?
Superstition. Fairy tales.
What?
How hungry can the dead be?
Oh my gosh! They might actually be doing it, boys! They might actually be doing one of my ideas. I don't know if they took it from me, but they might actually be doing one of my ideas. I'm excited. Like, that looked really cool. But yeah, that looked like Zhu Baijie. I think the outfit is going to be based on Zhu Baijie. We also saw an execution using a rake, so I think that they're getting some reference from Journey to the West. So I think that they're referencing Zhu Baijie. With that, Zhu Baijie is Pigsy, as some call him. He's the pig monster.
Welcome back.
Ah!
Once again,
Look at all these people. And JC!
Frenet. How are you doing today?
Pretty good yourself?
Doing well. And then
Awesome.
also returning on the show today is Raphael, Anastasia, and Alex. Welcome back to the Warriors Den.
Welcome back.
How
Thanks
are you
for-
guys doing?
Fantastic.
Good? Yeah.
Pretty excited.
There's
excited for this.
there's coffee behind the cameras. If you guys
Peaches right there. Old set.
no, it's all good. It's,
Whole thing, yeah.
It's any time before noon is still early. So
Yeah.
All right, tell me the lore.
So quick correction, real quick, if we can toss that roadmap back up, Max. So when we unveiled the Year 7 roadmap, there was a bit of a mistake. We said that Season 4 would start on December 14th. That was factually incorrect. It is actually December 7th. So you can look for Season 4 to start on December 7th and not December 14th like we previously told you. We weren't wrong. We just put a different day. No. So sorry.
December 7th, the day that would live in infamy.
Yeah, so we've got a lot to go over with Year 7 Season 3, and there's a bit of a theme that I'm noting of deceit. So, Raphael. Oh, wait, actually, I'm way out of order today. I'm all messed
out
up.
of order.
First, we got to go over what's coming up in the TU.
GC's
going to take
Yeah,
it before
right.
me.
So basically, I just want to give a quick recap of what's been going on. So for Year 7, our theme is really Swords of Injustice, right? And so as we're entering season 3, like every scene that had a theme, season 3
Pull it back up!
is deceit, right? So season 1's theme was heresy with the relic worshippers and having the Inquisitors and a lot of innocent people getting caught in the crossfire, all that sort of crazy stuff. Season 2 is about conquest with the Horkos Conquistadors going to the Aztec homeland. Yeah, right? Going to this, grabbing everything, getting a lot of trophies, bringing back the Aztecs with them.
Right.
And so that was kind of difficult there a little bit, But then in season 3, what we're doing is the warriors are kind of downtrodden, there's not a lot of resources, not a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to live. It's hard to feed yourself.
What?
So
okay.
they find themselves kind of
Why?
really vulnerable to something that we call the Feast of the Ghost Festival, right?
Ooh.
And so
No, hold on. What do you mean they're downtrodden?
maybe something's kind of dark and not really good under this, but they feel like they don't have a choice, so they go towards it, right? And they go, well, we gotta feed, we gotta live, we gotta survive. How are we gonna do this? So they get inside, but surely there's nothing wrong with this, right? Like nothing bad can happen there.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
good.
not at all.
No, hold on. That doesn't make sense. What are you
Yeah,
talking
and I
about?
think
They
there's
felt
nothing-
downtrodden.
Yeah, no,
What do you mean they were out of resources? There was no indication that they were out of
Saying-
resources.
I think we've got a season roadmap that we can take a quick peek at as well.
Yes.
Right? So we got all the stuff coming in TU1.
Yeah,
You can see
so
right here.
we got a new battle pass, Ghost Rights event pass, gameplay improvements. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Testing grounds also that I'm super psyched to talk about. Hero Fests, throwback event for Visions of the Kyoshi, so that's great.
So happy. That
Yeah, I'm really happy.
Gorgeous-
It's been a
gorgeous
while.
event.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super cool. And then Title Update 2, we're going to have our Halloween event, a new hero skin, new armor variations, another throwback event, the Zanhu's Gambit, which was pretty cool as well. And again, more Hero Fests with the dates that are all listed there.
Yeah, I think we got
Mm.
Kensei, Shigoki, and Warden.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand, but yeah.
No, that's it.
That's it. Then there you
I
go.
promise. I'm good on this
Brian.
one.
All right.
Good on this
You
one.
good on that one? Okay.
Yeah. So, Raphael, you want to tell us about this deceit business?
All right, Raphael.
I hear you talking about deceit, and I see it everywhere.
everywhere.
But actually, there's no deceit here. It's a big party.
Except for the
big
date change
celebration.
in December.
Yeah, this was deceit. I see. I've been deceived myself. So, to be honest, yeah, it's a big party, a celebration.
Of what?
It's a festival.
Of
that
what?
The elite Wulin throw for their ancestors, and everyone's invited. So, you say downtrodden warrior. Yes, I agree. Actually, everyone can come. They pass by and they celebrate the ancestors of the elite Wulins with them. It's a great festival. It's actually a real life festival. It's called the Hungry Ghost Festival. And the idea is that once in the year, for 1 month, the realm of the dead opens up a bit so that the spirits can come into the realm of the living. And then the ancestors are there, and you offer them, you have offerings of food, you offer them entertainments. Usually it's inspired by the repertoire of theater, opera, puppet shows, so a lot of things.
Okay,
And
dinner and a movie.
yeah, really great stuff.
For the ghosts.
Yes, for the ghosts, only the ghosts.
Only the ghosts.
There's something. So it's a big celebration, but there are some rules and maybe some form of uneasiness.
I love a dinner with rules. It's my favorite thing. Invite
Yeah.
a bunch of people over, have a lot of rules.
Yeah.
They're going to love that.
Yeah, and they will follow them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
Do you invite
Always.
ghosts to your?
Well, I'll say this. At least Horkos isn't mentioned.
But I think most people don't.
Well, if you invite them, maybe people might feel a bit chilly. I'm not sure, but anyway, there are some
There's always a
rules.
cold spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some things that you should avoid.
Yeah, that's what the empty chair is for.
Good. Do you sit on the chair?
No, that's the ghost chair.
And you
It's a
don't
ghost
eat their
chair.
food,
We
right?
talked about ghost chairs.
Okay.
Yeah, with Larry.
Did we?
Oh, I see. So. So.
Sorry, you're saying
No,
the Hungry Ghost Festival.
Yes, and there's some rules to follow there. So, the living, there should not mix that much with the nature of the dead. So you should keep some distance.
Those are some. Yeah, you're right. Those are some good peaches, Salk, man. I want one. Give me a peach.
For instance, one of the rules would be do not fight at night, because the night is the time of the dead. It's the time they are the most powerful. Don't push on the shoulder of your friend, because it extinguishes their inner fire. Don't get married during that month. Don't start a business. Don't stand near cold places like forests or water, because it's a place that is really associated with the
Yeah,
spirits.
super spooky.
And especially, don't disturb the altars and don't eat the offerings. But
So Forest Lake at night is just your 3 strikes, you're out, right?
and the food. That's
Yeah,
really
and the
really
food.
important.
Oh, okay.
So some rules, but it's a big party. Big party, many rules, many people. I'm sure no one will break the rules.
No, of course
I'm
not.
sure
Why
this
would
is
they do
not
that?
the intent. Everyone follow the rules.
Okay, so
Oh, okay. All right. I think I get it now.
more with the. We've got a lot of map realization going on. We've got just a lot to go through. So why don't we start at the high level? Anastasia, you can take us through the inspiration, and I think we got a mood board.
Yeah. Yes. So as Raphael just tell everybody, we are having a feast and festival. So to bring this festival, visually it means that we are gonna have a lot of vivid colors, bright colors. We're gonna have a lot of food offerings as elements of the festival. Of course, it's Wulin, so definitely is going to be a lot of Chinese traditional food, very tasty. Yeah, there you go.
The forbidden dumpling.
Yeah, yes, but you cannot eat.
Yeah, no.
But it's there. It's there as a food offering for the ghosts, and also different gifts for the ghosts. As well, in this season we have a deceit. So the question was how to visualize this deceit, right? So first of all, we have this contrast between warm colors and cool shadows, warm light and shadows. Then we have this contrast between people. We have elites and less fortunate ones. Then
The
You
struggle
feel-
bus.
These two images are not
Yeah,
Chinese,
exactly.
or at least they don't
so,
look it.
even though they are celebrating all together, you still feel the tension between them. Still feel that something is a little bit off, because usually they don't do this, right? So it's and also with ghosts. it's-
Push pull and see it visualized
Yeah.
on the map.
Exactly. Also, we are bringing the theme of the theater. What can we make
Yes.
it fall as a theater? We have actors there that are acting and pretending, being a different people, and we have spectators. The question is, who is actors and who is spectators? That's
And
Yep.
who's a ghost? Yes.
It's a ghost! I want Shaggy and Scooby to show up.
Belvedere looks.
Like Soing Scoobs, it's the Chinese ghost! Whoa!
Talk about all this stuff.
So at the Belvedere map now, it is the Ghost Festival.
Whoa!
You
Okay.
can see that it's all set up, ready to feed the ghosts. It's set at twilight, where it's just getting a little bit dark. Not too dark, not quite night yet. Maybe you want to go home soon. Not going to tell you what to do. But, and we have this kind of dichotomy between it being very serene and also very exciting. So on the lake itself, there are fireflies, there's water lanterns. It's beautiful. There's also fireworks that are bursting, and they're loud and noisy, very very fun. And you see this elsewhere too. There's all this theater drapery that's very.
This
soft
looks very nice,
and
not gonna lie.
very,
This is very nice.
plush. The lighting is really warm, and there's also a bunch of people spectating the entertainment, watching the fights, getting ready for everything.
I love seeing everybody just party down in the
Yes,
map. Like this guy up here, he's having
Yeah.
a great time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
best seat in the house.
And you can see these guys stealing food
Yeah,
already.
and
Sheets to the
speaking
wind
of
and-
following the rules, you'll also find people eating some of the offerings.
It's
I'm
the
sure-
minions, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's always the
always
minions.
the minions. I'm sure that nothing bad could possibly come of this.
They're going to donk it up for all of us, aren't they?
Yeah. But throughout the map as well, too, the question that you have to ask yourself is everything what it seems? Is there-
Dun, dun,
We've
dun.
been pretty upfront about the offerings. We shouldn't do that. But
Yeah, I think there was even a little sign that said no touchy.
yeah.
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 You can't get minions to do anything except
Can't
what
read
they
English,
want
so
to
it
do.
doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah. I think they are illiterate.
Yeah, that's what it
So essentially, so I think I see where this season is going, and it's clever. I'll give them credit where it's due. This is a clever idea. I like it. It shows craftiness, and it didn't involve Horkos. Take notes.
We'll start with the landing page, which is really beautiful.
Journey to the West
It's
backdrop.
got multiple layers, so it's really
Journey to the West backdrop. That looks sick.
I wish it could just always be Nusha there. That would be great.
Oh, whoa! What is this?
It's supposed to evoke the feeling of looking at a traditional Chinese painting.
When I first saw this, I was like,
Wow, that is
seeing
pretty.
Keith more this way.
That's pretty.
It looks incredible. It's going to make it harder for the knights to find the volcano, and so all of that is a win for me.
And all of the other in-game realizations has
Wow.
Belvedere maps.
Okay, I'm loving this backdrop stuff. I'm loving all that. It looks beautiful. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Top tier.
And like it's just like Belvedere's already a very beautiful map, and to like
Hey,
level it
look!
up a bit, not and to you know.
Wait, those aren't
level up
Wulin
into
soldiers.
that epic facial hair.
It's just a knight soldier wearing Wulin skin. Come on, you can do better than that.
But yeah, all the realization looks incredible. The team has really done
Yeah,
a
the event
great
team
job on
put
it.
so much effort into trying to make the season really unique.
I mean, Spoopy season is For Honor season, right? Because we got Valentine's and then we got Spoopy season. So I think before we head out, we got a few things to go over because with Year 7 Season 3, we also have a new Battle Pass. So we got some stuff coming in the Battle Pass that you can check out. And first up, we have... Here it is. Yeah, we've got the Deceitful Festival Battle Outfit. I love this blue. I can foresee...
Oh, I didn't even see the blue.
Van-
That's a very light blue. Now I see it because
We've
it's
got
on
Deceitful
a different
Nature
set,
Battle
but yeah.
outfit as well. You may start to see a bit of a theme here with the naming. And then we've got the Deceitful Performer effect
Ooh.
for all your favorite Edge Wardens. Do it. And if being edgy with red isn't your thing, we've also got the Deceitful Thespian effect. So you can get some ghostly, ghastly blues in there. And then we've got the Deceitful Stranger.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that the hero skin is going to be Sun Wukong.
Definitely not.
Oh, what's this?
Left-handed protagonist. And let's take it back.
I want that signature now. I want that signature. That's awesome.
So yeah, you can check all of these out in the battle.
Ooh, no execution?
Right, we got the nine-toothed death execution.
Man, your ass just got loonied. Oh!
If you've ever wanted
Are
to
you
slap
for real?
enemies in the face,
What?
scoop them up.
Okay, that was awesome. That was effing awesome.
And then here's a quick sneak peek at the deceitful weapons that are coming with the battle pass. So this
Wow.
video here.
I like these weapon
You can
skins.
check out that BP drip and get your Hitokiri axe.
Wow.
Very necessary. Although most
These
of
are so good.
axes
Those are some good looking
really on
weapons.
the back end of a tier 4. So,
It's been a while, right?
yeah. And so the Ghost Rights Festival will be from September 14th to October 5th. And with that, there is a free event pass. So, Anastasia, do you want to talk to us about the art direction behind the event pass?
Yeah, sure. Battle Pass was inspired by Chinese culture, of course.
Not thespians, it's thespians. It's a thespian. A lover of the arts.
Map realization now you can take it with you everywhere you go.
As usual, the event pass itself. Oh! Good addition of
I
lotuses.
love this
This
effect.
is so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a great effect. Wow, I like that.
For sure.
That's actually one of the few
Starts
event
spinning
pass
and
effects I actually really like.
Why not all of them?
I mean, I didn't win the 100,000 steel, man.
Yeah.
That
Some of
also
us are the poor, unfortunate warriors.
Poor unfortunate
I
warriors.
was just trying to say that the weapon.
Akikusama weapon? That's Japanese. Get back to the Chinese.
Each fraction has its own thematic theater.
I like the visual of Goki using the club to, like, crook someone off stage, but a little more violent. It's fine. He'll give him a hug in the wings.
Not sure it will work.
That'll be fine.
I think that's everything for the details, right?
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone, for joining us on the couch once again for all the juicy details. Juicy like a peach. Stick around for the next segment because we're going to be talking about a certain gameplay improvement, and we're showcasing all the Battle Pass weapons and Event Pass weapons before we get to that. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, let's see these weapons. Let's see them. Okay, Warden looks great. I like that. That's a good looking sword. Peacekeeper looks good too. I like that one. Gladius looks okay. Not bad. Gladiator. It's all right. No problem. The Blackbriar shield looks very Italian. But look at the skulls at the bottom. That's so clever. That's very clever. Warmonger kind of doing the same thing. The hidden skulls at the bottom of the sword. That's very clever. Griffin. I like that smile. That, hey. Lawbringer. It's okay. I like my current Lawbringer set better. Oh, Conquerors looks good. That's a good shield for Conqueror. I like that. Get yourself a female Conk and give her that shield. That's a good one. Raider looks okay. Yeah, I like that. Vibrant colors. Berserker, I've never been a big fan of Berserker's looks. Same here. I don't have a lot to say about Highlander. Oh, Shamans looks good. I like Shamans. The serrated axe head, that looks sick. Jormungandr, that looks great. That looks really good. I like the Valkyries. So they're kind of going for operatic stuff. They're kind of going for like performance stuff. And if that one was opera or mass, these are sagas. So the Vikings are getting saga-based weapon skins, and the Knights got masquerade weapon skins. So this will be Japanese opera or no plays. So Kensei's looks okay. Orochi's, I like the red color. Sorry, Shinobi, just not doing it for me. Aramusha's looks really good. I like that color contrast. Hitakiri's looks god tier. That looks so good. I want that one. Whoa! Kyoshin's looking good. I like Kyoshin's. Nice. Ooh, Nobushi's Naginata looking fresh. Oh my, look at that Shugokis. Look at that Shugokis. That looks like something a demon would carry. Absolutely baller. I love it. Tiandi's. Oh, I love the coloring. I love that blue tint. Very nice. Shaolin. The coloring doesn't work as well for Shaolin for some reason. I'm not a big fan of that one. Nushi's okay. It doesn't stand out to me that much. It's hard to make Nusha stand out, though. Zhongjun, very nice. I like that. That's nice. Wow. Zhanhu looking good. I like the handle on Zhanhu's. That looks great. No, really, it really does. Next. Pirates is okay. It's not as good as what I have. Ooh, Medjai. That looks sick, Medjai. That looks really good. I like that one. And then Aphira. I like Aphira's. That's a pretty good one. Whoa! Look at Ocelotls. That is sick. That is a sick Ocelotl weapon set. Okay, so it looks like what they kind of did here was they kind of tried to make all the weapons kind of fit a theater kind of production from their culture. So for the Knights, it was a masquerade thing. Oh, we got more. Hold on. It looks fine. Wars looks fine. Peacekeepers is meh. I get the feeling all these are meh, so I'm going to talk while they go through. If one steps out to me, I'll say something. But I think they were trying to go for like the Knights being like a masquerade or carnival kind of thing. The Vikings, it was like a Norse saga, like a saga or Nordic epic. For the samurai, it was like a no-play or Japanese kabuki theater. For the Chinese, it was like a typical Chinese opera. And then for the Outlanders, they just went with what they could. All right. Looking through all these, yeah, they're fine. I don't really hate. Oh, I like that one. But the rest are just fine. They don't really stick out. Oh wow! Whoa. I kind of like Conks. That's not bad for Conk. Okay, some of these are actually okay. Raiders is fine. Okay, I kind of like Berserks. All right. What is this? Why are the event weapons looking fresh right now? Stop it. Shamans is okay. Yorms is okay, but I've seen it before. And I'm not a big fan of Valkyries. Ugh, Warlord Sword is awful. Warlord Sword looks ugly as sin. Get that off my screen right now. Kensei's looks okay. Orochi's... Oh, okay. Orochi's isn't bad. It isn't bad. No. Nope. Get that off my screen. Get Shinobi's ass off my screen. Oromusha, that can go too. Not a fan. Not a fan. Itakiri, I always like that evil smile thing. That does look kind of cool, but okay. Kyoshin's is fine. Nobushi's is fine. Shugoki's is also just fine. It's not bad, it's just fine. Ew, what'd you do to Tian-D's? Looks like a paint project gone wrong. Okay, Shaolin, save it. Ugh, not a fan of that either. Shaolin, what the hell? They look like... Ugh. Okay, Nusha's actually looks kind of okay. Zhongjun, oh, what is with these? They look like paint patterns that someone barfed all over. Ugh. The paint design is so... It looks nauseating. Ugh. The Wulin failed there, man. Pirates is meh. Just no. Whatever. Come on, Medjai, save me. Medjai, give me a good one. Okay, that's okay. Medjai's is okay. Not great, but it's okay. Yuck to Aphira. Aphira doesn't look that good. Okay, Ocelotls is fine, but that's partially because we haven't gotten enough Ocelotl weapons to really have a lot to compare. Yeah, someone tie-dyed the Wulin's weapons. Yeah, the Wulins were terrible. The Knights and Vikings were great. The Samurai one was bad. Wulin one was just weird. All right. All right. Need a drink of water. Let's go. Gameplay improvement. What are they going to improve? I'm curious.
Welcome back, Warriors. We're so happy you're here with us.
Give me one of them peaches.
To talk about our next segment. And joining me here
JC,
on the couch,
toss me a peach!
Is our Lord and Savior, JC, once again. Welcome. I know you're here last session, too, but you're still here. And we're still here.
JC, toss me a peach!
Amazing. And also, the queen of all animation, Vanessa, is here on the couch. Thank you.
It's Vanessa!
For joining us today. So, listen, Warriors, we brought two heavy hitters today to talk about a little game.
Emphasis on the heavy, am I right?
We've received some comments here and there on Reddit for a little while.
What? They're removing Reflex Guard?
Sorry, there's a lot.
There's a lot of space, right?
There's a lot. Yep. Okay, that's a lot of comments, but I mean... Here it is.
They're removing Reflex Guard!
They're removing Reflex Guard!
They are removing Reflex Guard! What?
Done.
Get out of here.
Finally.
They are removing Reflex Guard!
We are very excited to announce this today, to bring this to you. So, yeah,
I've been waiting for
apologies.
so long.
We apologize for all the
my God.
deceit and the subterfuge, but we're so happy to just bring this to you. So we want to dive in and talk a little bit more about this. But if you're maybe newer to For Honor, we kind of want to explain what this is to you. So what is Reflex Guard? Essentially, on our assassin heroes, Reflex Guard essentially was like, oh, if you have your guard in a direction, it slowly fades away and you go back to neutral. Whereas on a static guard, what you're seeing here is you just kind of hold your guard, and you don't have to worry about continuously refreshing that. So we know you've been asking for this for a while, and well, here it is. So yeah,
unbelievable.
With the launch of the season.
Yes.
No more
Here.
Reflex Guard. So it's pretty big. So who does this affect to? So again, if you're newer with us, all of our assassins, the Peacekeeper, Orochi, Berserker, Gladiator, Nusha, Shinobi, Shaman, and Shaolin, the one hybrid with Reflex Guard as well. So that's 8 heroes. No more Reflex Guard.
That is
Done.
unbelievable.
Done.
I am so amazed by this decision.
But it's great. But you know,
I never
this
thought
is,
they'd take it
such
away.
a big deal for us. It's such a big change. We wanted to kind of share with you a bit about the journey, maybe give you a little background on like where this came from.
Yes, I want to know why you made this choice. I want to hear this.
Today with this, so
I'm going to be quiet now and listen.
Do you want to explain a bit about the history of Reflex?
Yeah, so it's a long, complicated history, but essentially, if just to start at the very, very beginning, right? I'm sure some of our viewers were there, and I think the very, very first close beta that we did, where Reflex Guard was essentially, if you blocked last second, well, if you actually blocked with those assassin heroes, it would always deflect. That was a bit too strong, so that changed. It evolved over time, and ended up switching into what we have today in game. That will change next week, which is your Decaying Guard. So that's kind of interesting. There's a lot of stuff that happens there. We had at some point we had some heroes that had different timings for the Reflex Guard as well. Like I remember Gladiator had like a shorter time for it. Some heroes were like a bit longer. So we've changed those over the years, but we wanted to keep it. And so the initial thought behind Reflex Guard was that because you have Deflex, because you have another really bonus that we really thought back in the day was going to be really, really strong, which is you kind of hide your guard, right? So if when we saw in the video there, on live right now even, right? If you pick Orochi, for example, you switch your guard to the right, and then when it's over, you get back to the middle. And so if you lock onto somebody, and that person did not see you switch your guard, they don't know which side the attack is going to come from. So that was one part of, well, this is actually a really, really good bonus, because then your opponents can't really match your stance. If you're playing against like Warden, for example, right now, you can, if you're locked onto them and they're locked onto you, you see what stance they're in all the time, so you can just match, and it makes blocking them a little bit easier. Now, as time went on, we found that that strength of Reflex Guard was not as effective as we wanted it to be. So that's one part of what's, well, yeah, okay, so the bonus, the benefit of having Reflex Guard doesn't really fit here that much. The other benefit that we used to have, that we got rid of a couple of years ago, was that if you had an assassin and you wanted to do an attack in a different stance, your guard switch delay, so the time you would take before you switch your stance and attack, was 100 milliseconds. And for other heroes, it was 300. So we switched this like a while ago, like I think like 3 or 4 years ago or something like that, where it was standardized at 100 MS for everybody, because it kind of impacted the static guard heroes a bit too much. So those were like the main benefits, but seeing as they're not real benefits, then what we're left with outside of Deflect, which is, you know, a good thing to have, is the bad things about Reflex. And there's
drawback.
The drawback, right? And so the two main drawbacks are that, first of all, you have to refresh your guard between every single hit. When you're in a group fight and a bunch of people are attacking you, there's indicators everywhere, it's really difficult to have to like block somebody and have to re-put it again.
It's frustrating too, because you kind of do it, but it...
Yeah, and sometimes you're like, oh, I did it, but it happened too late and stuff. So that's a bit difficult there. And then the other thing that's a bit trickier is that when that guard expires right now, like when we saw in those videos, like the little like the guard indicator kind of fades away. When it expires, there's a short window there where you absolutely cannot block anything. And so this is problematic, because then at high level players and even like sometimes at a little bit lower level, it would happen to you randomly as well, where you could time attacks to land in that specific window when you were good enough to recognize it, and then your opponent just literally could not block. They absolutely had to dodge and create other issues.
Like vulnerable.
Yeah, you're vulnerable for a little bit, and so that was the problem there. So at the end of the day, we went, well, okay, we actually need to remove it. We had a lot of people in the community have been wanting to remove it. Clearly, we've seen it for a while. We've been wanting to remove it for a while as well. I think we started planning this like over 2 years ago.
Yep.
But as Vanessa can tell you, it was
a long journey.
It's not as simple as we would have liked.
That's right.
Okay, why was it so difficult? Why was it difficult?
I wish at this point, I wish we had one, but no.
Yeah. Again, it's a long. It was a bit of a journey too.
Yeah.
So, do you want to explain a bit about like what the impact was for you and your team?
Yeah, basically, I mean, we had to redo everything. In terms of animation, it was a pretty huge task. Of course, gameplay-wise, like there's complexity to do this, but it resides in the animation because we had to reshot all the navigation for each heroes. They navigate in their neutral stance, that we call them. But now we had to add more, like all their static stance in navigation. The thing is, player knows those characters. They've been playing them forever.
Yeah.
So they know how Orochi behaved when you walked and all of that. So we needed to keep that pace, that feels. It's a good thing that we still have the same actor, mocap actor, so they have it in them, but...
so they had to redo the mocap just... That's incredible. I did not realize it was that big of a deal. Like, it's real. One of the things, I want to say this real quick. I know that she's talking, but I'm going to say this. I really do think that it's incredible. We always think, God, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just fix that? It's so simple. I hear this a lot. It is not that simple. There is stuff that goes into this.
And there's a lot of connectivity everywhere. And we changed stuff and we're like, oh no, it breaks something else. So it was, I mean, Nolan.
I know. I was there for
That's the thing, right? When you're not a game developer, when you're not even doing software, right? Like sometimes it looks like, oh yeah, it's super easy. You just change this and it's fine.
I wish.
But then things have knock-on effects, and it's not even like it's. Sometimes it's completely unpredictable. You have no idea what else is going to break when you touch something. So it's a tricky thing to really balance.
Just the fact that we work in parallel with like what the player.
This was always one of my biggest disagreements with Slanderous, because Slanderous would do this in a lot of his videos. He'd say, "Why don't you just do this?" And then he'd say, "It's not my job to fix the game. It's your job. You're the game developers." And I'm like, "Yes, it is their job. They know more about it than we do."
Oh no.
This is a lot more complicated than we like to think. So I find this incredibly interesting.
More than that, because mocap, I think the mocap we shot it in March, not this year, but the year
March
before.
2024. Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we thought about this before.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
The planning even started before.
This is a huge deal, guys. This is a huge deal. This is changing the game in a huge way, and I'm happy not only for us but also for them. This feels like something they've really wanted to do for a while.
Yes, but we have.
So this is excellent. This is excellent.
Yeah.
Every recovery. So every time we do an attack, we go back. Like when we mocap them, you do an attack, you go back to your stance, hidden stance for neutral stance for Orochi, for example. But now we had to go back to those attacks. We didn't have to re-mocap everything, but we had to rework with the mocap that we have for the navigation and go through the whole moveset, basically.
Yeah.
And at first we're like, oh, maybe we're not going to see them too much, but we had to reopen old animations.
The more we play tested them internally, the more we're like, okay, there's a glitch.
That looks
odd. Yeah, so we would really, it was super visible. So
exactly. Yeah, because the difference is there. So so it was pretty. Just even like opening an old animation made like, I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever. Like it's so. Sometimes it just doesn't work. You cannot just. It's gone, and you're like, oh no, what do we do? So we.
This will be very interesting to see.
But we made it happen. It's done. I've been practicing the speech for over a year. I'm so excited. I can cry. I'm very happy that the player can. You can wait a week.
Yeah.
Slanders has really good ideas, but doesn't elaborate on how to implement them. My problem with Slanders, my only problem with Slanders is really that there can be times where I feel like he says things and I don't think he thought them through. Like when he says stuff like, "Why doesn't For Honor just do this?" And then the counter is, well, they're game designers, and it's like, well, people will say to him, what would you do? And his response is always, I don't know, I'm not a game designer. It's their job to be the game designers. And I'm like, that's
thing.
That's not a good
broke
answer.
other things.
Because if
And
you
we're like,
want
well,
to
okay,
see
yeah, but
good
it doesn't-
changes implemented, why don't
let's say
you
keep it for a long
give
time,
the
it
changes?
doesn't
And
fix
sometimes he
the
does,
regard
but
to
other
the-
times I notice that
If
he
you
just
keep it for a
doesn't.
super
And
long
this is
time,
something that I've heard a
the
lot of
regard
people
doesn't
saying, why don't you just
want it
remove
to be
Reflex
like
Guard?
that,
Why don't you just fix
it's
Jormungandr?
all
Why
those
don't you
little
just
things
fix...
that
Like, people just say, why don't they do this? And then I always say, we don't know what goes into that. We don't know what goes into making these things. And so I think that we really do need to take into consideration what goes
Yeah,
into
we just
these
have to redo
things.
it.
Yeah, that's it. Right. It's better to
Cleanly.
redo it and make sure that we're good. Yes, it standardizes things a little bit, but it ends up being way better.
It's for the
It's for the best, and
Yeah.
it's a big buff to all the assassins, right?
Yeah.
And we already know like characters like heroes like Berserker, for example, is already super strong.
Well, I'm sure this change will make Slanderous happy. I'm almost certain this will make him
It's
happy.
Maybe a little
everything.
strong.
Right? It's changed a lot of stuff. I know like some characters that are like not played.
Did I wait, guys, did I surpass him?
Play.
We're gonna see so many.
I don't
Yeah,
keep track of Slanderous'
That's
subscriber
real- that's
count.
real niche.
Right? So there's a lot of stuff. Like, of course, we're keeping an eye.
Did
on
I-
that.
did I pass him?
Things are okay there, but I'm really excited. Like, we've been playing with it
Yeah.
internally for a little bit now. It feels so much better.
Yeah.
Makes all those assassins way better, and yeah.
And,
like,
and keep
still
keep an eye, like you just said, like I know on some emote we still have some. You might, if you do a combat emote, you might still see some residue of those animations. We're working on it. It's gonna be gone pretty soon, but we want it.
Oh, so they're still working on this. Oh my gosh.
Can it goes? So no, yeah, it was.
Yeah. So if you see bugs or anything,
Yeah,
the
just
emotes-
yeah,
yeah.
tell us. But we're all gonna clean that.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
want them gone for real.
Not really. Yeah, it's absolutely a monumental change.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely huge. And obviously, you know,
I have 33K, is 32K. Oh, okay, I did pass him.
Weird.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
on this specifically, do we want to give?
Yeah. So
team
for us,
shout-outs
at least,
for
like
that?
on my side on the fight team, it's everyone on the wheel that's been
Yeah.
on the fight team for like the past 2 years. Everybody's touched it. Everybody's like worked on it a little bit, removing it, doing the data so that things are okay.
Yep.
But also, what was tricky for us, and what I think I have to give really big kudos to our team is that while this was going on, the way under the hood that it was in, whenever changes were being done, we had to do them like twice, 3 times
Yeah.
to like other things
Yeah.
to make sure things
Yeah.
were carried over. And so that was a monumental task for
Oh my god. Okay, so what he basically just said was they've been working on this for about 2 years, and every time they made a change in the game, they had to do it over again to fit with the Reflex Guard currently and the no Reflex Guard later. So they had to do double the effort. Oh my lord. JC, I apologize for making fun of you so much. That is terrible.
Yeah.
Like in the past years.
And other heroes, and other reworks.
All of that
Yeah.
was happening at the same time that we
Yeah.
were doing that. So it's quite a lot. It added a lot. So
Man.
all the team, and also just for Kadem as well, one of our animators that worked
Yeah.
6 months straight on this feature only. We usually like rotate stuff, just you can work on everything, but specifically Kadem, thank you for this. It's a big one. I hope the community likes it. I mean, I'm so happy it's out.
I like it. I'm excited. I just want to see how this turns out. And even guys, even if this change isn't good, even if we think, actually we preferred Reflex Guard, give props to these people for going through all that. That is insane.
In this, in some shape
Yeah.
or form. That's it. Like for tools, for code, for like
Yeah.
everything, right? So because it impacted so much more than just we're just removing it in the data and we're doing animation.
If we add the
There's so much
button
more,
to
yeah.
remove the reflex guard,
Yeah.
we're gonna use it if we have it, but we don't have it. So
Yeah.
no, we had to redo everything. So
Wait, we are losing Reflex Guard for a year? Yes, next week we will lose Reflex
Well,
Guard.
Thank you both very much. And community, again, one more week. You got one more week, so enjoy Reflex Guard for this next week. Because
All of you assassin mains out there, enjoy Reflex Guard for one more week. It's going away. I'm so stoked.
no, we won't post about
Okay, just put feedback.
the fact that
is
you
good,
like
but
that.
Yeah,
there's no
if you're happy
reflex
that it's
guard.
not there
Yeah,
anymore.
can't ask us to
exactly.
remove it anymore because it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gonna be gone. It's gonna be amazing. Thank you very much, JC. Thank you very much, Vanessa. Warriors, stick around because this isn't the only gameplay update we have for you. We have some patch notes we're gonna talk about coming up next with JC. So stick around.
All right, patch notes next. Yay, patch notes. All right. Guys, I'm not going to lie, that's big. This is really big. Give JC yeah, you know what? I asked for a peach. Give JC all the peaches. Give JC all the peaches. He deserves those peaches. He's been a good boy. JC's done good. Guys, I'm gonna say this. For real. We give For Honor shit a lot for things that they don't do, and I'm on that train too. I've got on them for the way they treat the lore and all that. But let me say this: just based on what we've seen so far this year, for this season is top tier. The lore is pretty good. I can see the direction they're trying to go. They're trying to go in a direction that the Wu Lin are trying to catch the other factions, like get ahead of them by inviting them to this festival of ghosts. And they know that the other factions won't be able to play by the rules. They know that they'll break the rules, and that will bring the ghosts out and start harassing and killing the other factions. That is clever, that is deceitful, it is just what I wanted to see. It is an underhanded tactic that I think is a brilliant move. It's a brilliant maneuver by the Wu Lin. It doesn't involve Horkos, it doesn't involve Chimera, it involves actual culture from the characters. This is incredibly well written. I really like the idea. I hope that they go this direction. I don't want to see Horkos or Chimera mentioned this season. I want to break from those guys. The weapon designs look pretty cool, and we're back with JC. I'll talk more later.
Thanks for sticking around there as we did a little shift in the background here. But yeah, we're here to talk about some patch notes, so with JC. But before that, just real quick, because we were just checking a few of the comments in between the transition of the segments here. And JC, you had one more thing you wanted to mention about?
So I just want to address some weird urban legend that I've been reading about and hearing about for a while, and I should have mentioned it before. So apparently a lot of players were thinking that we couldn't remove Reflex Guard because of Deflect, and that they were linked together in some sort of spaghetti code type of thing. That was completely false. I have no idea where people got that information.
Yeah, I don't know where they got that either. I always thought that Reflex Guard was given to Assassins because they had Reflex Guard, not that the two were intermarried. I thought it was like, they have Reflex Guard, but in exchange, they have Deflect. That's what I always thought.
I don't know where y'all got that, okay? They're completely separate, so Deflects are here to stay.
Yep, exactly. I'm really happy about that.
All right, well, cool. But beyond that, too, we have, like, again, if y'all thought that, this was a pretty big update, we have even more for you, and something I think that's been cooking a little bit, too, the past couple updates here. So, JC, let's dive in. What do you got?
All right, let's hear it.
So,
patch notes.
So first off, I'm going to go into the patch notes as we go along, but I want to just get started. So first things first, we're going Lawbringer reintegration now, so that's great.
Woo!
And then I want to talk super quickly about the Bash testing grounds that we've done. So as I mentioned last time, it's not coming in this TU. It'll come out like probably next one, but I just want to make sure that we want to take our time to make sure we were getting it right. Tested out a bunch of different interactions, making sure we're good to go. So don't expect it now, but Lawbringers now, right?
Awesome.
And then also for Lawbringers,
coming back next to you guys.
Not really history, but like an indication of where we're going with it, is that we did 2 testing grounds, right? The first one was kind of like there was things that people liked, things people didn't like. Second one, same thing. So the approach we took specifically for Lawbringer was gather what worked, and then what didn't work, we just discarded it, right? So because a lot of the time, like we're thinking, yeah, okay, this is good, it feels good when we're playing it, and then it gets into the hands of players, and it's really not what they're expecting, it's not what they are enjoying. So we don't have a problem, and when there's things that don't really work, we don't mind cutting them, right?
Okay.
At the same time, we want to make sure that the character is still in a healthy spot. So there's some things that are more about the health of the hero and like the feeling of playing against them. But we'll go through the changes and we'll go through it. So for Lawbringer, what I'm going to be doing is just going through the main points of what has changed. You can go look at the patch notes for all the details, for every little nugget of detail that should be in there. They're really, really complete, but that's great.
They're pretty big,
Yeah, they're pretty big, but we really wanted to make sure that we cut them down to...
No, he's not in testing grounds anymore. I heard of it. He's coming out of testing grounds. Here are the changes.
The first thing that we need to mention is that Impaling Riposte, so this is the side-heavy after a parry, is only guaranteed on light parries. That's something we had in the second testing ground. We've done different iterations of this in the first one where you still had it anytime, and then we reached
That's
the wall,
gonna be rough.
Special punish or whatever. It didn't really pan out, made things way too complicated, like really messed up stuff. So instead, the best way to handle this was what we did in the second testing rounds, which is it's only off of light parries. You get it off of dodge light parries, you get it off of other things. But at the end of the day, the damage output of a Lawbringer when you parried a heavy was way too high. It's much too dangerous. You can ledge, you can put into traps, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. It's still useful, and after a heavy parry, it's not after a light parry rather. But the idea now is
Oh boy!
to make a decision and to really be smart about which option they're going to take. Are they going to do blind justice? Are they going to do impaling riposte?
Top heavy finisher now soft feints to guard break.
Like an instant
Ooh, I like that. And chained heavy attacks now gain uninterruptible stance at 100 milliseconds. So do you mean to tell me Lawbringer's finally getting hyper armor?
So that's why we kind of went this way and make sure that when you're playing Lawbringer, you're feeling good about the choices that you're making. And yeah, you can make a mistake sometimes, and it's okay. It's fine. You know, you're gonna get to learn. That's great. Then we also kept that the heavy openers now chain to Swift Justice on hit if it's performed in the same stance. So right now, Lawbringer can go into if you land a heavy attack, you can tap light in the same stance, and you will do a really quick tap. That tap leads to your finishers. It counts as your second hit, which is the next point there. So it's great. It really lets Lawbringer get into his finishers, which is arguably one of the best parts of the kit. He has some of the best heavy finishers in the entire game. Really big, unblockable, white sweeping, the whole thing. That's super good. They hit a lot of people. They're threatening. That's great. But being forced to do a heavy, then potentially go into a light or a shove into all those mix-ups, when we want to reward, like you manage to land a heavy, you manage to land a guard break to go into your heavy, getting all that stuff to go, like we really want you to go into your finishers and use them as much as possible.
Okay.
But that's the idea here. If you switch your stance, you will still go into a normal light. So like that's okay.
Yeah.
That works. So that's all good.
Okay.
We've also kept that the chain heavy attacks now have uninterruptible stance. That's armor for people like me who don't like to say uninterruptible stance. So you get they have armor at 100 ms, right? So that's only for chain heavy. It's not for finishers. The finishers are unblockable already. They don't really need that armor. We had that in the first session.
Yeah.
It didn't really pan out, which is okay. But having that armor there really lets Lawbringer be effective in group fights, right? The idea here is those are still big swings with armor there. Lets you kind of target swap between opponents. Can let you like a bunch of stuff and be a lot safe against peeling. So that really helps Lawbringer's offense in that regard. Be able to get around and do stuff. So that's great. And then also the top heavy finisher and now soft feints the guard break. It's a little bit faster. We have a slide a little bit later that like talks about speeds, but essentially to make sure that your top heavy finisher can catch people that are rolling, when you do it after a light, we gave it a soft feint to guard break to make sure that you can catch people that are rolling.
Nice.
And make yourself a little bit more useful in those fights and just I roll away from Lawbringer every time he does it, right? So that's a big part.
Oh, there's more.
As well, we have long arm. So long arm now guarantees.
Yes, long arm now guarantees a safe heavy opener with Swift Justice.
With Lawbringer, you do long arm, you flip them over, you throw a heavy. If you do not do anything afterwards, if you don't throw a light, if you don't risk a light, if you don't risk a heavy, if you don't risk a shove or whatever, your opponent gets a free guard break on you every single time. This is not the case right now. We fixed this. It was fixed in the testing grounds. It works well. This is great. It really helps make long arm a lot safer of a tool. So it works really good. So that's great for that. Blind Justice, which is the top heavy after a parry. It now initiates chains and it also chains to Swift Justice. So essentially it's you can do.
Guys, could we stop talking about food in chat? I'm starving and this is unkind to me.
You can do Blind Justice into Swift Justice into your finishers. So really we want to have Lawbringer keep his identity as a parry specialist and have a lot of options out of parries and be able to keep the pressure after parries. That's very important to us. And so by giving those things a little bit like more utility, a little bit more stuff there, it feels great. And it lets the hero actually really go into pressure. Because one of the big problems that Lawbringer had was, yeah, you're really good defensively, but offensively you're not that good. It's kind of hard to get to where you want to be. So with these kind of changes, those slow changes really helps get into where you want.
Okay, nice.
Next we have Zone Attack and Make Way. So they now cost 20 stamina instead of 60, which was like a crazy number. They now also initiate chains, which is great. You can do like a zone attack into a chain, whatever you want to do. And they also have 600 ms of recovery, right? They used to be way smaller. You could do stuff like zone into a full block and then parry the full block follow-up. This is not something that was intended. It's not something that we want to really reward there. If you're hitting a full block, you should be punished for hitting the full block.
Right.
So
Let me put it this way, guys. If y'all keep throwing food at me, I'm going to end the stream and go eat because I can watch this later.
We've also removed all stun, all stamina damage, and all stamina pause on the hero. So no more stunning off of your top heavies, no more stunning our stamina damage or whatever off of anything. That's completely gone. Stun doesn't really bring much to the game, you know, like flashbang don't really quite work with what we're doing.
Yeah.
And stamina damage and stamina pause, we're removing them over time on pretty much every single hero. The logic here is we want like stamina.
Okay, they took away his stun and stamina damage and stamina pause stuff. That's good. I didn't think he needed that, especially since they took it away from Yorm.
What your opponent does, it's how you manage it yourself,
Right.
and not how your opponent manages to drain your stamina bar. It also has like big knock-on effects into when you're out of stamina and stuff that we don't really want to get into. So with this, it makes the hero a lot healthier to play against. And we've also adjusted the recovery timings for most attacks. I won't go into the numbers, go look at the patch notes, but the gist of it is the vast majority of heavies at least have like shorter recoveries. Like some of them were like over a second long. They're all like about 800 now. That's
Nice.
great. So yeah, so overall like we've kind of standardized this a little bit to make the heroes safer as well in group fights. If you don't want to throw a follow-up, you don't have to.
Nice.
So super quickly, if you want to...
Damage changes too.
A bunch of...
Oh man.
Screenshot it.
Okay.
The most important part of this here...
Heavy openers now deal 20. Chain heavies now deal 26. Heavy fisher now deal 28. Blind justice now deals 25. Good lord.
Very, very, very shortly is enhanced lights are still in. Shove-in chains is still 500 MS. All those little things that we've done that players did, like the 3-hit light chain, for example, we've also we did not carry it over. Players did not really like it. We heard you. We see it. Fine. We're not putting it in.
Yep.
But again, it's testing grounds. We're testing things. It's okay to dislike stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally. Nobody takes it personally. Except maybe sometimes I can't sleep at night, but it's fine.
What are you doing to this guy?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What
Right?
are you doing?
But yeah, but it's fine. Like honestly, it's okay. We're testing stuff out. It's good. And sometimes when things are not appreciated, we can remove them, and it's fine.
Sure.
All right. So next up, let's go to Pirate.
Pirate, okay.
Some buffs to Pirate. Pirate's been underperforming. When she released, she was a bit strong, a little bit strong, right? And so
A little,
we
okay.
acted very quickly. And we kind of over nerfed the hero to really like help the feeling of this feels really bad fighting against her, right? But as we've done that, we've realized more and more that her power level is way too low. Like I've been seeing a lot of tier lists that just put her in a remove tier list, right? For duels especially, which is kind of sad. But I mean, I get it, right? If the hero is not effective and if everything's reactable and you can't really do anything, like when you're playing as Pirate in specific game modes, then it's not good. So we're doing these changes here to Pirate specifically. We're keeping an eye on the situation. If this is not enough, we will keep doing more changes to the hero to bring them more in line to where they need to go. So first up, heavy finishers. They now deal 24 damage.
Okay.
So again, like bringing up the damage line a little bit higher, so you're more encouraged to do them and get into the move there. The guaranteed pistol blast and the non-guaranteed pistol blast now recover like at different timings here. The gist of it is that whenever you perform them, if you don't chain afterwards, you become frame neutral with your opponent instead of being frame disadvantaged. So it lets you not necessarily keep the pressure going, but at least you're not disadvantaged if you don't choose to continue because you're out of stamina or you don't want to do it for whatever reason. So that's kind of like the idea here. Cavalier Dance, which is our front dodge heavy. Right now, it's according to a lot of players, it's fully reactable. Right, they're able to react to the fact that you're fainting it or not. So we sped it up to 700 MS. It used to be 8. It's now 700. And the uninterruptible stance starts at 433 instead of 5. Here we're hoping that by speeding it up, it'll make it a little bit less reactable. Animations kind of follow there, so hopefully they're going to be less readable, a little bit less readable in the fact of did Pirate faint or not. So we're gonna see where that lands, and like hopefully.
I don't think this is going to make her too terribly strong. I think that this is a fair buff for her.
Like I said, we might look at
It's not overblowing her skill set. It's just making her a little bit more. Well, right now, currently she is so weak. Like most people don't even play her. I'd like to see her buffed a little. So this is nice.
Especially with the dodge changes, it felt bad, right? They were getting parried all the time. Making them at 533 again, we're putting them back down to the value.
Pirate was so oppressive. No, they're not. They're just fixing her a little bit. What happened was she was way too strong at the start. They nerfed her into the effing dirt. Now they're trying to pull her up a little bit.
That's it for Pirate. Next up, we have Medjai.
Medjai!
So for Medjai, the hero's actually been overperforming. If you look at a lot of tier lists, especially in Dominion, way high up, and is the source of.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, right. So there's a good reason for that, right? And the problem is that like staff mode is very, very, very strong, and also has like was kind of played with some bugs with the trajectories, dealt a lot of damage, like a massive amount of damage, and like because the weapon trajectory didn't really line up with the actual weapon visuals, it made it feel kind of bad because then you were like, well, why am I getting hit when a weapon is not hitting, right? Yeah. So we're trying to address all of these issues at once here for Medjay. So first is all staff mode chain heavy attacks on deal 28 instead of 30 on sides and 32 on top. Already that's like that's a 2 damage nerf or 4 damage nerf for top. So like again, this dealt a ton of damage against external opponents that couldn't really do anything. They're fully armored. It's kind of nuts. That's nothing there. The staff will finish your heavies also now deal 30 instead of 32 on sides and 34 on top. Again, same logic, right? Damage curve was going a bit too high. Tagging people with 32 damage heavies when they can't really do anything and you don't really see them, that doesn't really work well. And we've also adjusted the attack trajectories to better match weapon visuals, sorry, for the following attacks. So all staff mode lights and heavy attacks and staff mode zone attacks. So now you should find that when the weapon hits you externally, it should match way better with the actual visuals of it. And we've also adjusted them so like in some cases there's a little bit less reach, sometimes a little bit more depending on the front we had to like increase it. Yeah. On the side
I'm just taking notes of everything so that when I do my recap video later today, I will know everything.
You still have all that sort of stuff, but at least now if the weapon hits you, that's when you're going to take damage. And it's a lot easier to go, well, the weapon's coming at me so I can dodge out of the way or deal with it in a better way than just hitting you out of the blue and doing phantom hits there, which didn't really good.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So that's it for Medjay. Next up we have Orochi. So Orochi is centered around a single thing, which is Storm Rush. Now you might be going, Storm Rush is not that good.
It's not that good.
However, if you look at a lot of, I've seen a lot of ganking videos.
Yeah.
And Storm Rush was problematic because it ignored a lot of the rules that we have for pinning. And so that's really, really complicated. But basically, you could pin opponents that could not be pinned. You could do you can chain multiple Storm Rushes back to back to back. So that created a lot of issues, and a lot of the 100-0 ganks with a lot of heroes in the cast were just, well, Orochi's there, so you can get them going, right?
Gotcha.
So this really needed to be addressed so that the character is in line with everybody else in the cast, where they don't fully ignore those spinning rules. So the change that we've done was Storm Rush no longer pins opponents that are in states where they can't normally be pinned. So, for example, those are generally, if an opponent is currently being pinned, Storm Rush could repin them. Right now, that can't happen. The hit reactions also no longer allow the opponents to be pinned from other players. So another part of this was if you pin somebody with Storm Rush, another pin could repin in that situation.
All right. Well, I agree with the lacking of pinning. I agree with that. But please don't buff the damage of Storm Rush.
And that is because even if we remove...
Do not buff the damage of this ass attack.
Storm Rush into a light, the hit reaction that came from that light is in a state that is pinnable. And so because of this, even if we fix the other two, you can still repin from the reaction from that little light afterwards.
Gotcha.
So that had to go. To compensate for that going for now, we've also increased the damage from Storm Rush from 16 to 20. Basically, it's that 4 damage that those little combo lights do. Sure. So you're still going to deal the same damage with Storm Rush. It's just that you can't have that kind of repin infinite.
Yeah.
So
leave it.
For this.
Seems fair.
Yeah, it seems really fair. And then finally, Hitokiri, one line but significant line. When we did change to Hitokiri last time, the hero, we kind of...
Oh, thank you, Lord. That is such a help to Hito.
We're putting that back in line. So instead of costing 60, now costs 20. Better stamina management for Hitokiri, not out of breath as often. Great. And
a very raspy voice.
Right.
Stamina.
All that stuff. So at least now you can throw zone attacks and not lose half of your stamina, which is...
That's always a plus.
Pretty good, right? It's always a plus.
All right.
Now do that for Warden.
That's pretty much it for balancing and patch notes for this.
That's
really nothing to Warden. Come on.
And all that again accompanying the reflex guard removal, like it's.
How about you fix Warden's stamina?
Into after like all that testing grounds, which by the way, again, thank you all for that feedback. You know,
Yeah.
legitimately, I mean, as JC said, you know, we ran too, but we really do value the feedback you give us on that stuff. It helps to you know really see what's working with the community, and
Yeah.
what's not. So it's good. So big thanks to that.
Yeah, thanks. And like honestly, like even if it's not always the most constructive,
Sure.
The more constructive you are, the better it is. If
Oh,
you have
yeah.
ideas to make things better or whatever, great. You can tell us. We're always looking at everything, and it's great. I'm always happy to see people commenting. It means people are engaged. It means people love the game, and they want good things to come out of it. So that's always good. So that's always good. That's great.
Cool. Well, and I think we have another excellent point of engagement coming up after this segment. So stick around, everybody here, because JC's not going anywhere. He's here all day.
It's my show today.
It's the JC show today.
It is the JC show.
He's going to be here to talk about testing grounds. Comes up next with somebody I think you're all going to be pretty excited to hear about. So
Who?
stick around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be
Who's
right
coming to TG? Who's coming to TG? They gotta be bringing my boy Warden to TG, please. My boy Warden needs some love. Think of Havoc. Think of this boy Havoc, who has dedicated himself to Warden, who has made Warden his main, who has done so much good for Warden. And you're gonna disappoint Havoc by not helping Warden out. You're gonna make Havoc sad. Give that boy some stamina changes. Give him another move. Like, do something with my boy Warden. He is the most basic of basic characters besides Warlord. Nah, you're right. It's probably going to be Highlander. They're probably going to bring Highlander to testing grounds. You know, the character who really doesn't need to be there. But yeah, I'm liking this. Like, I'm enjoying the season so far. Everything so far has been pretty good. I agree with everything they've done, except for their slight change to Orochi, where they gave his attack damage a buff on Storm Rush. Storm Rush is a cheesing attack, and I can't stand it. It annoys me in the same way Shinobi's former ranged attack does. Veruthen Ultor! Yep, correct, Jedi Knight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Highlander's going to be on there. Highlander's going to get a rework. Warden won't. I'm pretty sure Warden won't be there. I'm sad. I couldn't dare play Warden in PvP. I've tried. It's not easy. It can be done, but it's not easy. Water time. Mike Spike, holy smokers, my ears. I apologize. Come on, guys. Bring on the testing grounds. I want to see what you got. I'm surprised that the hero skin didn't come out for TU. It's apparently going to come out T1 for TU2. It's a little bit odd, but okay. When Kyoshin nerf, please. I don't know. Right now, Kyoshin is just light spam the character. I'd like them to fix that.
And we're back to talk
All
about
right, here we go.
Grounds. I am joined once again by Mr. JC Fournette. And for the first time on the Warriors Den, William the Conqueror. Welcome to the Den, William.
Sorry?
I just said welcome to the
Oh,
Den.
sorry. Oh, thank you.
I
So
did not enunciate. The Idaho came out, and it was just like, oh, no, that, man.
You're from Idaho?
Yeah.
I would not have guessed, bro. Okay, sweet.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's how it works. That's good.
Well, to be fair, Raymond Orochi no longer has his
yeah,
double
we're
lights and his Storm Rush no longer pins you. That's fair. He didn't need the buff.
Yeah, well, first I want to welcome William to the Den. First time we see him around. Joined the team not that long ago, like 3 months ago.
yeah, like 3
But
months
you've
ago.
been
now.
playing
Yeah,
forever,
absolutely.
right? Since you've been playing For Honor since the beginning. of
Yeah,
time.
pretty much since the launch, and
Yeah.
now being on the other part of the screen as a dev, that's
Yeah.
a pretty good feeling, you know.
Fresh out.
So you joined 3 months ago, bro?
The no.
Well, Ubisoft, give me a call. I've been playing since launch too.
School.
I could talk to you. We could have a conversation over some tea.
I don't think he went to finish.
Never.
So
No, but let's get into testing grounds
Ah.
details. So what can players expect from the TG? Because
Yeah.
we've got the man who never skips a leg day,
yeah,
right?
Mr. Thighs.
Yeah.
Highlander, right? So I'm super happy.
It's just Highlander. God dang it. Fine. What are you doing to Highlander?
Like for us to have Highlander and the testing grounds and as a rework. So we've taken an approach here with Highlander, which is essentially we want to have the hero to just make the hero better in general.
He's already great. People run circles around me as Highlander. Like I have played people with as Highlander. I've played people against who play Highlander who just run circles around everyone. Highlander is just so S tier.
If you played Highlander before, you can play Highlander now, except you have better tools. So that's great.
Nice.
That's what I like to see in a rework as well.
Yeah, and I think that's what players said when discussing Highlander as a potential. They're just like, I hope they don't change him too much.
Yeah, right. So we hasn't changed too much. Actually, he changed for the better.
Some TLC.
Yeah, a lot of TLC. Yeah. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so first up, the very, very biggest change we've done, and I think people should be psyched about this, is that whenever you feint an attack now, every single time you feint an attack, if you hold the heavy button, you will fast flow into offensive stance. Right?
What?
So how does this work? I throw a heavy, feint, hold heavy, straight into offensive stance, right? So this is great because normally the only way you could really on live right now, like go into offensive stance, realistically, is either like you got lucky, the dodge attack, you hold it or whatever, or you backstep light into offensive stance. Those are the two ways that kind of made it safe. But now with this, you're showing an indicator. So because you're showing an indicator, your opponent doesn't really know what you're going to do. It makes it a lot easier to go into offensive stance. That's a really, really, really big change here. It works off of every single feint that you can perform with Highlander.
Every feint.
Every single feint.
You can just whoop.
Yeah, added a couple of feints.
Oh.
So we'll talk about this.
There are more feints.
There's more feints. The next thing I want to talk about quickly, which is a problem with the hero right now, is backstep lights. Right now, on live, if you do this, you backstep quite a bit. You can kind of option select a lot of attacks. We don't like that. It's not a good thing. So what we've done is that the version, like when you backstep a little bit less. So it kind of removes that option. Like, right, if you're really close, right, and I'm backstepping, I still hit my opponent. So you can't just go and try to option select stuff out of it. And just smash out of it and get out of range and stuff. And so
it's like one of the few OSs to survive the purge.
So that's a problem with like whenever we have like we have superior blocks on attacks and we can backstep them, it kind of creates problems there. The other thing we've done is that a question.
Ravenite, you claim to be a casual player. Don't claim you know Highlander that well. I only know what I've fought against.
Damage instead of 20. So again, we've lowered the damage curve a little bit here because again that was a bit too strong. So that kind of works there. The other thing we've done in defensive stance is defensive form rather is the chain lights no longer have uninterruptible stance. This is a health issue, right? Players could just match this, have armor quite often
for days.
Yeah, and it was like it's a bit too strong. So removing it there makes a lot of sense. You still have it off of your heavy openers, right? And off of your heavy openers, so you can still trade and do stuff with Highlander. It's just not off of the lights.
There's still a lot of flashing.
Yeah. There's still a lot of flashing.
Yeah. Flashes.
The other thing that we've done that's kind of cool is we've also adjusted the speed of Highlander's heavy openers. So top heavy opener right now. See, so if you're on live right now and you land a guard break, realistically, all you can do is zone attack to hit.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore, my friend. You can do a top heavy, and it lands.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad for that. That's actually good.
If I do like
because that was an annoying thing about Highlander. You couldn't really guarantee anything off of a guard break.
9 is Will can do a dodge attack here, and I get a free heavy off of a side heavy now. That are
Shrek'd.
Beforehand, all you could do after a light parry is hold heavy, release it. Timing was rough. Like the input comfort was not super there. You can still do it if you want, but we really wanted to give the hero like a much better way of getting into those parry punishes and not being super penalized about all of these things. That works really, really great. We've also adjusted damage in consequence. So top is 24, sides are 27, like expected for the speed. But that works out really well. Next, we have zone attack from offensive form. So first up, first hit is feintable. You couldn't feint it before, now you can.
Oh, dip.
It's great. Right?
That's huge.
Because now you can also, you want to know what we're talking about? Feinting, feint into offensive.
Oh.
Do it a bit quicker there, but yeah.
I see what you did there.
That works there. The first hit also now gains uninterruptible stance at 500 MS, so that's great. So you get armor really, really quickly. And then the second and third hit also gain uninterruptible stance at 100 MS. So you get armor here, armor here, armor here. You want to throw minions when a bunch of people are around you? Go ahead. You're not going to get.
I see one major problem though.
But.
And this is just thinking from a smooth brain casual player.
What do you think we could do?
I mean, was it faster?
It's not necessarily faster, but you can now chain to heavy finish.
Oh, did.
That also
Yeah, I
arm,
was way off.
right?
I was
You were,
way
you were
off.
way.
I was
way off.
distracted by the flash.
Yeah, but that's okay. Because now the other cool thing is that the heavy
Blind.
finishers also chain into zone attack.
What?
So if you want to be a cool spinner, you can now go zone, do heavy, zone.
All right, so
Heavy.
the age of man is over. The age of the thigh copter.
Oh my
You really want to have Highlander in this form to be really, really defensive, but be able to defend himself in group fights. Be amazing in the minion lane because you can just spin through the.
Yeah.
You
No,
kill everything.
Scotsman goes.
Exactly. So that's really, really good there. And the last change that we're adding is the top, like the front dodge heavy, the top version of it can now be feinting, which it couldn't before. So now you can probably feint, hold heavy, straight into offensive stance as well, which is really, really good there. Again, a lot of those little changes, a lot of it kind of feels almost like quality of life, but it really,
Yeah.
really helps Highlander in those cases. Now we have offensive form, right? So the main issue with offensive form is kick, because kick right now is not necessarily like, it's not fast, it's not super slow either, but it kind of works. The problem is that it's reactable, and then if I'm playing against, say, a Highlander here, right, and I'm gonna do kick into Caber toss, it kind of works. The idea is that the way that mix-up was intended was I'm gonna do kick into Caber toss and catch dodge attacks, or catch people dodging actually. But because everybody has dodge attacks right now, like if you can try to dodge attack it when I do it,
Yeah, you just
clearly it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Right? So how do we fix this? Well, kick is now. I'm sorry. Kick is now feintable.
The kick is feintable? Are you serious?
But if you're holding, because you're currently holding heavy, right? So holding heavy, you stay in offensive stance, which is great because I can also throw my offensive heavies, feint them, stay in offensive stance.
I cannot wait to go back and read chat.
This is like amazing there. The other thing that we've also done is all of his side dodge, all of his dodge attacks actually in offensive stance are now Caber toss, which is also a little bit faster. If you play with
throw
Highlander
it to the
before,
ground.
you grab them. Usually, it used to take a bit more time. You would grab them, throw them. It would take a bit longer. You still get your unblockable heavy off of it, like usual. But you have it off of this, right? So now it's crazy because when you're in offensive stance, you get even more crazy potential damage with a lot of your allies by throwing something to the floor. But that's good. The other thing that's interesting here is that if Will kind of rolls away from my feintable kick, good, kick and just roll away from it, I can front dodge and grab it, right? So there is now no escaping the kick, which is the thighs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that works really, really well there. It's amazing. Honestly, it's a super good tool. But at the same time, if you want, like I said before, right? You want to soft feint into Caber toss? You can. We didn't remove it. You want to go straight to Caber toss from neutral? You can. We didn't remove it, right? So all of these things are still in. They're not necessarily the most optimal things, but we wanted to make sure that if you played Highlander before, you can still play Highlander. You just have new things that work better.
Okay, so you don't have to get the 500-pound brain and relearn the
Exactly, right? That's great.
Yeah.
Also, like for the heavies in offensive stance, we've lowered their damage and their stamina cost. So now these
Okay, that's better.
30 off a dodge attack was always a bit crazy, but yeah, 12 stamina instead of 24. So you can actually now stay in offensive stance quite a bit longer. Have a lot of stuff there, so that's really good.
50% off all stamina costs.
Yeah.
Only in
That's
Heathmore.
right. There's some changes we've done to like dodges. I'm not going to go too much into it. We have a blog post that kind of details all of those things. Essentially, like you can flow back into the offensive stance a little bit quicker from what you're doing, and you also move a little bit further out when you're dodging from when you're on live. But that's good.
He overall just looks a lot more fluid.
Yeah,
with these little tweaks.
Yeah, it feels really, really good. And then just the last thing that I want to go into. So we've removed every single instance of stamina damage and stamina pause, like what we've done with stuff. Again, like it doesn't really fit anything here. Like I said before, when we have a topper here, it's the same kind of logic there. You can also no longer. So right now, if you're on live, right, if you're in offensive form and you hold guard break, you can just do kick, kick, kick.
Oh, right.
kick,
It'll
kick,
just
infinite,
chain,
right?
chain.
So now we've kind of fixed this, so you have to tap it, and then if you're just holding it, it's just going to happen. Right?
Nice. So you're not going to
Because
get caught on the startup of the next one.
Exactly. And so this might look a bit weird, like why they would remove this. It's just because it can create like bad inputs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point in having those bad inputs. So if we can clean them up, that's great. It works really well. Also, the other thing is that like exiting offensive stance used to cost of stamina. Now it costs 6. So again, better stamina management for Highlander. Great overall. And then the final piece of this cute little puzzle is Highlander had the worst walking and running speed in the entire game, even though, you know, it was like a big beefy guy with like big thighs. So right now, we've actually sped it up to be equal to the second slowest in the game, which I think is Kensei. So he runs at about the same speed as Kensei actually. So with this, you can actually rotate through your rotation a lot better, reach points in a much more natural way.
Because before Highlander was not great for
Yeah,
rotation.
right. And you had to pick rush every single time, otherwise you couldn't really get to where you wanted to go. So we really like sped that up, make sure that at least like that's a bit more playable. You can get to where you want to go, and that works.
Hey, and his dedication to leg day it finally paid off.
Exactly, right. So that's great. So that's it for Highlander. Like it's a lot of changes. Sometimes it doesn't look like too much, right? But we've really put a lot of care into making sure that, like I said, if you've played them before, you can still play Highlander. You're just buffed up now. You can do a lot more, and you have easier access to the tools you want to have. You can weave in and out of defensive and offensive form a lot more effectively. That works super well. We're really excited. We hope like players are gonna like it. We're super happy about it. That it should be good.
Yeah.
And
No, I mean, all the tentative changes seem like they're kind of in line with what players were asking, which was like, we want some tweaks, but we don't want to. We don't want to change the identity of the hero, or like the feel of playing him. So I'm excited to get hands on Highlander because like he always felt like chunky. Like swapping out cardboard cutouts.
Awesome.
You know,
but with this, it's a lot more fluid.
Yeah, now it's just, and those are kind of more the heroes that I like to play. It's just like let me get in there and flow. Yeah.
That's good. Well, that's it for the testing grounds.
That's it?
Thanks, William, for being
a punching bag.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Punching bag on the stream and off.
Yeah.
No, just
not off. Not off.
Not off.
Please,
not
not
that.
No. Thank you both so much for joining me on the stream. And for those of you home, we'll be right back with Nolan to recap everything, and we've got some community corner videos.
Finally getting rid of me.
Yeah. You can go like bask in the glory of chat's adoration.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
I love that.
But stick around. We'll be right back after this. Edition.
Okay, so my thought is this. I didn't think Highlander needed much of a buff. I mean, I'm glad that he's getting sped up, and I do appreciate some of the changes he's getting, but some of this doesn't make sense to me. Like, for example, I don't like this infinite zone heavy thing. If you're going to give him that, then take away the hyper armor off of it, like give him one or the other. But the other problem I have is that new change where he can where he can feint a heavy attack and go into his offensive stance. Let me tell you why I don't like that. I'm speaking from a smooth brain here. What is the first thing you want to do when you see that red indicator? You want to parry. You want to try to parry or do a dodge attack, right? Well, what happens if I start an attack and then feint it into my offensive stance? The first thing I'm going to do is swing a heavy at you to parry. So basically what you've done is go, haha, I didn't actually throw a heavy at you. I went into, ow! Wait, hold on. You hit me before I could do my thing. Here, let's try again. I'm going to swing a heavy at you. Haha, you didn't, ow! See what I mean? It's like when you're playing against the smooth brain individuals, they're just going to either dodge attack you when they see that attack coming, or they're going to parry you. So you switching into a stance where you have no guard is a foolish idea as far as I'm concerned. Unless your plan is to dodge their attack, well, okay, as long as their attack isn't undodgeable, you know? See, that's my issue. If their first instinct is to parry, then the minute my feint ends, they're going to heavy me. And all that's going to do is give them a free heavy.
I have
you too?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, what a great day.
Yeah, it is a great day. Thursdays, when there's a Warriors Den, you know it's going to be a good day.
Mm-hmm.
It's all.
What else is going to be a good day? Next Thursday. Too.
Next Thursday, yes. Yes. Yeah, especially for Les Assassins. So let's do a quick recap of everything you can expect coming up in Year 7 Season 3. Title update, Juan. Nolan, would you like to give us a recap?
Absolutely, sir. All right, so amazing show again. So September 14th, next Thursday, we are gonna kick off the new season with a new battle pass and a new battle bundle. Keep a lookout for that. There's some amazing stuff in there you already got to see. The Ghost Rights event pass is going to be running from September 14th through October 5th, so that's really cool. Testing Grounds is coming there that first week, September 14th through the 21st with Highlander, so you just saw those amazing changes. There was the other little thing. Oh, yeah, Reflex Guard removal. It's gone. Say goodbye to that. So that's coming next week as well. We also have a throwback event, Visions of the Kyoshi, running from October 12th through the 19th.
Gorgeous
Well,
event.
so
Gorgeous.
I love that event. So
Oh,
it's
the
really
Spirit Realm, it gets me every time.
I know, yeah, it's
Yeah.
such a great event. We also have some Hero Fest planned for the season 2, just as a reminder. So keep an eye out for. Kensei, Shigoki, and Warden. I'm like, oh no,
I'm looking forward to that last one. I've got.
I think you have a little stake in that one too.
I'm gonna make everyone suffer through some explanations on that one.
I know. I think it's great too. I think some people were caught it in the opening trailer too, so it's pretty good. That's amazing stuff. So yeah, there you go. A lot of content, a lot of amazing stuff coming out starting next week. But yeah, that's not all we have to talk about though. In our wrap up.
It is not.
All right, let's see the last of it. I want to see these.
Is the returning tradition.
I love it. Yep.
We have combed all of your video submissions, and it's time for Community Corner. So let's take a look
Right.
at some funny videos that Nolan hasn't seen.
I have not. I asked not to see these because I love them so much.
All right, here we go.
He likes the surprise live.
All right, what do we got?
Yeah, so
Hit
this
me.
is big, like YouTube reaction.
It is. It's yeah. Gotta start a new show after.
Start.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So first up, we've got "There's Always a Bigger Fish," which was brought to us by the name on the screen.
It's pretty good. Shigoki's a pretty big fish. Oh no!
Get him!
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh!
Excellent artwork by Menacide.
Oh wow!
That looks really good.
Yeah.
He's making some of my dreams come true right here. This
That looks really sick.
I'll talk to GC about it later.
And then you cannot avoid the hole. I'm sorry, BT.
Oh, he
but
avoided it though. Like,
Ye-
what are you talking about? You can't.
you can't avoid the hole.
Oh, he just did.
No,
He just,
it's the rules.
he just did again. I feel like Raider really wants to get this. Oh, he's gonna. Oh, see, there you go. Where are we at?
I mean, the video.
I mean,
Wait.
yeah, payoff at the end. No.
Yeah!
The hole.
Well done.
And then we have Nuh-uh, brought to you by Parasure Owo.
Body pillow.
I like that.
For the weeps. And then we got What the Bot Doing
What the bot
by
doing?
Desuvolt.
What is the bot doing there?
What the bot doing?
Dancing. I'm going to say dancing. Just really
The
enjoying.
bot's having a great time.
It
all right.
is. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and there's our video roundup.
I'm so happy that I don't see these in advance because they're always great to see on a first.
No,
one.
I love
them so much.
I love the
Yes.
Shimbo bot
The little
over
Shimbo
there.
bot.
Just, I'm gonna do
And
that.
that is how Quetzalcoatl taught us how to live. Nuh-uh.
From here on out.
Just from here on out. I like it. I'll hold you to that. So there you go.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, let's jump into other things we got coming because we got some retrofits.
Oh, very good.
Which are coming for the Frozen Voyager for 5K Steel, and this will be for all the Outlanders.
Mhm.
So, so all heroes should have these now, so you can with Afira, because the hips don't lie.
There you go.
And then I believe we have some content of the week, if I am not mistaken.
That's
Content
right.
of the
As well
week.
as, the next season starts next week. Today we have a Medjai Hero Fest with his first unique execution, Neferka's Decree, and to answer the question,
And it
yes,
ledges.
It ledges. So
Very
check
nice.
that out for 7K Steel. And next week on September 14th, we have a mythic outfit available for all heroes, Theater of Deceit.
And it is gorgeous.
It is amazing.
That is beautiful.
Absolutely. This is one of the coolest looking ones like we have done forever. I
But
don't
wait,
know.
there's more.
There is more. You get to see it on the emote
It's
too.
an emote.
We just wanted to see it on more options there, so it's really good.
I always love it when Conk bonks himself.
Conk the bonk, absolutely every time. And also we have a limited time execution next week, September 14th through October 5th. I have chops. This is a favorite of one of our art directors here, Andrew. We know how
The hell happened?
The extra flavor on
what the hell happened?
forbidden dumpling, the extra little taste of flavor on that one. So that is pretty good too.
I need to rewatch that.
You can look for these on September 7th, September 14th, respectively. And September's roadmap is live. Should be live on the Reddit. But here you go. If you want to screen cap it, and if it's not up there already, and you want to beat us to the punch, well, knock yourself out. We got a lot of stuff coming up this month. Yeah, packed. It's packed. But we've also got an arcade quest. We've got Burning Embers. The weekly quest was, as always, as is tradition for Marching Fire owners, which hopefully should be everyone by now. If not, I have questions.
Yeah, come on.
I'm not going to ask them, but I do have them. But yeah, here it is. And then we've also got the Vanquisher Challenge, which will be September 8th through September 11th. Be the faction with the most matches won. Samurai were leading all the factions recently, so maybe.
Come on, Knights.
Maybe.
Come on, where you at? Let's get back.
My weebish friends, you need to do the thing. I just want to see green once before I die, please.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
But yeah, don't forget to follow us on everywhere that For Honor exists, and we got rid of all the weird underscores and extra letters, so we're just For Honor Game everywhere. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Follow us right here on Twitch, because some of you aren't, and I'm perplexed. I am forever perplexed by that.
Just follow us. It's a great time.
You need,
We have a
you need
great time
notifications. And don't forget to follow the Ubisoft YouTube as well. Make sure and subscribe. Click that little bell.
Awesome.
But yeah, I think that's everything for today.
Yep.
So thank you, everybody at home, for tuning in, and we will see you next time or on the battlefield.
There we go!
You blow it!
Oh, no.
You blow it!
Oh, really good.
We're all screwed.
Ha! Finally ate the peach. All right. Well, that about wraps that up. Okay, before I do anything else, gonna go ahead and start this process. One second. All right, that way it gets started for me to do the video later. Anyway, go ahead and get rid of that. Okay. Pull this up, full screen. Lose that. Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very impressive season. Let me go ahead and give you my thoughts. Then I'm going to go get some lunch and then come back and get started on the video that I need to, because I've got a lot of videos to work on. Guys, I've got a lot to do. I've got to do a recap video for this whole Warriors Den. I've got to do my Hero Fest Executions Graded. That won't come out today. I'm pretty damn sure it'll probably have to come out tomorrow after work, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And I've also got to finish up the response video that I'm working on. So, here are my thoughts. I have been saying for the past few seasons now, I think as far back as the Aetherius season, that For Honor felt like it was in a downward slope in terms of lore, in terms of writing, in terms of creativity. I'm very happy to say that this season feels like a breath of fresh air. A lot of this feels really good. The lore feels good. I don't see Horkos mentioned anywhere. I don't see Chimera mentioned anywhere. This feels really, really solid. I'm very happy for that. I really like a lot of the designs that we're seeing from the weapon skins and the art direction. It feels very fresh, feels very creative. And guys, it's like what I said in my Wulin video. The Wulin is a gold mine of opportunity. It's a gold mine of ideas, and it's barely been touched. We're finally seeing them get into it. We're finally seeing them touch on the Wulin, which is fantastic. I think it looks really, really beautiful. I'm very excited for that. As for the other changes, like the removal of Reflex Guard, I think that's great. I was so glad to get to learn how they do that and what all goes into that. I also really like the changes that are coming to Lawbringer. I feel like most of the patch notes are good. I feel like most of the patch notes are pretty solid. The testing grounds for Highlander, I don't know. It's because I don't play Highlander that much. Whenever I fight a Highlander, they always seem to dodge and offensive light me out of everything. I feel like I'm always bullied against Highlanders, and it's very disagreeable for me. But again, I am casual. I don't know all the details. I just know that whenever I play against a Highlander, I get my ass kicked. whenever I play as Highlander, I can't pull off those sick moves the way they do. So maybe this will be a great change, maybe it won't. But I do feel like some of this doesn't make sense to me, but I'll leave that to wiser heads than my own. I can only talk about the lore and the cultural aspects behind it, and based on that alone, I really like what I'm seeing. A lot of this looks really good. It looks like a very promising season. I'm very interested to see what happens when we get to the Title 2 update, where the title update number 2, where we'll get the hero skin and we'll get the Halloween event. Very curious to see what they do with that. If they go the direction that I think they will, I think that it'll be really, really neat. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here because I am very, very hungry, and I have a lot to get done with, so I won't waste a lot of y'all's time. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a great time. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section what you thought. And for those of you guys who only caught the tail end of this or came in late, don't worry. Like I said, sometime today I will try to release a basic recap video, basically explaining everything and what you missed. Depending on how long it takes me to make it, I may not get to stream tonight. I may not get to do my Persona 5 stream. If we don't, that's okay. We may try it again Sunday. You never know. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. I had a wonderful time. Love seeing you guys here. Wonderful discussion as always. And as always, guys, I will see you